After 2 heartbreaking losses, John Avery and the Enforcers must win.
We can't put a complete game together yet. And it's getting old, you know what I'm saying? It makes me sick in my stomach.
Avery has been stopped tonight. John Avery is so fast.
XFL Player of the Week.
It's all John Avery.
Tired people pat me on my back, tell me how good I did. I don't want to hear that. I don't like losing to nobody and nothing. I don't care if it's checkers.
Can this team bounce back?
We ain't got no choice.
Chicago attempts to bounce back against Casey Weldon, the quarterback who refuses to let go of his dream of becoming a star.
He is one of the toughest quarterbacks I've ever seen play football. He took so many big hits that would have put normal people down. But I'll tell you, that guy said, nope, I'm all right. I'm going back in.
Here we go. Weldon's going downtown. It's got a receiver. Touchdown.
Weldon returns to his hometown fans in Birmingham to try and capture Lightning one more time.
Here we go. It's week 3 of the XFL, and Birmingham Bolts fans are hoping their team can charge on to victory again here in the Deep South. Today, from historic Legion Field, it's the XFL on TNN, the Chicago Enforcers and the homestanding Birmingham Bolts.
Please welcome your Birmingham Thunderbolts.
Well, you know how we started off here in the XFL. Forget that coin toss. It is time for the scramble for the ball. And let's go down the official for all the introductions, Steve Hammond.
All right, gentlemen, step up here. These are your instructions. You each are going to line up on your respective sidelines, and you're going to sprint to the football located on the 50-yard line. Whoever secures possession of that football will have the choice of options to start the game for your team. If there's a false start, we will restart. If there's a second false start, whoever created that false start will automatically be declared the loser of the scramble. Any questions? Put your helmets on.
What you saying? What's the count? You're going to whistle?
On the whistle.
The tail of the tape edge goes to Steve Conley, 6'5", 235, but he's fast too. He runs a 4.5 40. Well, fast, but perhaps not coordinated. Bob Golick, Greg Benavides, welcome again to the XFL on TNN. Bob's a tough guy, so he does not have the gloves on today, but you want to talk about tough on the field so far. John Avery for Chicago. He might be, Bob, the most exciting player in the XFL.
Most exciting and the most versatile. This guy has done everything in the run game and in the passing game. He's starting to warm up a little bit too, but you can tell from his emotion, he really wants to make this team work.
When you talk about tough in this league, you might start with Casey Weldon, the quarterback for Birmingham, who's been terrific in the pocket so far for the Bolts.
You know, there's a hometown guy in Jay Barker sitting waiting his turn, but as long as Casey Weldon takes the hits, keeps getting up, and keeps making the big plays like he has, he is going to hold on to that starting spot for the Birmingham team, and I'll tell you what, he is one heck of a leader.
Birmingham won the scramble. They have elected to kick off. Chicago will get their choice to start the second half. If we go to overtime, then, of course, the Bolts will get that opportunity once again to decide.
You know, we're seeing, one of the things we're seeing is when teams are winning the scramble for the ball, they're actually starting to kick off instead of receive.
Fine football coach Ron Meyer turned 60 last night. He's been a winner everywhere he's been in college and professional football. Jerry Donato, very familiar to fans in the Southeast after coaching at LSU and Vanderbilt. Head man of the Bolts, 48 years age. He is from Brooklyn, New York. Brad Palazzo will kick off for the Bolts. Royal Preston is the single man back deep at the goal line, and here we go. Preston will move up to the 10 and grab it for Chicago. Down the sidelines, he's bumped out of bounds at the 30-yard line by Duane Butler, and after the 19-yard return, the enforcers take over near the 30-yard line.
Well, it's going to be a big game here for Chicago, looking for a chance to get themselves a win to take back into Chicago. We've made this comment before. They have been out of their hometown for about 50 days now, have not seen Chicago. Some of these guys actually have homes and apartments there that they've never been to.
Some guys have never even been to their home city. Here's John Avery right off the bat for a couple of yards. Speaking of home cities, Bob, this area here in Alabama was ravaged on Friday with a torrential storm. A tornado came through, plowing trees down. We were here at Legion Field. Cars were hit by trees, 3-4 feet in diameter, knocked down. The scoreboard, our Tron board, $2 million board, was knocked down. They've been able to fix it. Here you see the live shot.
Yeah, and
it sounded like a big train coming down. There was speaker damage. There's still 100,000 people are powerless in this area, even as far as today. Lester on the play action, and he's stopped for no gain.
Well, so far so good. If you're a Bolts fan, this defense is lining up and getting after it, stopping Avery on the first play, going in, making a play. Number 95, Quentin Reese, coming in, getting a hit on Timmy Lester. You know, this is one of the things, too, that we're seeing. I mentioned this right after the scramble for the ball. You're seeing the team that wins starting to actually take kick the ball off so they can get field position.
You see Christopher Perez, left tackle. I was talking with him before the game. Very bad ankle injury. He did not feel he was going to start. They must have talked him into it. And he's blocking Preston there, keeping him away as Lester finds a receiver in Roel Preston. So they get the first down. It was Charles Preston who was pressuring the quarterback, and the left tackle Perez had a block for his quarterback in that play.
That's right, and you talked about Christopher Perez. I mean, he wasn't supposed to play. Thank goodness he's in there. I mean, we're talking about, because of this limited roster, 45 guys total, 38 only active, you don't really have a lot of backups in your offensive line. We had a guy, possibly he'll step in, depending on things goes, who haven't even played offensive line before.
Christopher told me before the game he's played 150 straight games in about 3 different leagues. Batted down at the line by Patrick Scott. It's incomplete.
Aaron Bailey was wide open, 2 out in the flat. Nice little pattern coming back for the ball. Good play at the line of scrimmage to cut that one short. All right. Well, you know, this Chicago team right now, they got to get something started. They got to get something emotional right now. We told you before, they haven't won a game yet. They got to find some way to start believing a little bit. Emotionally, they've got to get a first drive success would be exactly what the doctor ordered for these guys.
Here's Avery, dangerous in the open field. Not this time. James Willis makes the stop.
These guys, man. Hey, nothing better than playing on defense than having things going. It's one thing to make the hit at the line of scrimmage, but watch Willis here. He knows this play is coming. Talking about a guy who knows how to read a play, sniff it out.
James, 28 years of age, said his mom, Ann Lewis, in a single-parent home, was the inspiration. Showed him all about perseverance, about making sacrifices for both James and his sister.
Well, he's the leading tackler for that Bolt defense right now, and you see in that play that his instincts really help him out.
Third and 19, quick kick for Chicago. Jackson goes back to field and he'll grab it around the 20. Avery's going to try and make the tackle, and he does. John Avery at the 20. So Ron Meyer pulling one out of his sleeve. Not a bad idea we saw last night in the Las Vegas game. The Outlaws was not a quick game, but they were able to regain possession of the ball after it went 25 yards.
Illegal man downfield. Kicking team number 83. 5 yards will be added to the end of the run. First down.
What happens is on the quick kick, essentially you're trying to kick the ball without having the Birmingham team have a player there basically to field the ball. Once the ball goes 25 yards, as we said, it becomes a free ball. But the one thing you run into is a guy not being able to stay on the line of scrimmage. Nice hit.
Aaron Bailey not on the same page, obviously, because when the ball is punted, you do have to wait for the ball to be hit. The refs call it the sound of the ball before you can take off. Weldon going downtown. First play for Williams. Oh! His left hand incomplete. He had to step on Corey Ivy defending.
I had that. Not today. I'm telling you, not today. You hear me?
Sounds like two kids right on the playground. I had it. No, you didn't. Not today.
Just say, one of these games will start off this way with a little friendly jawing back and forth, but go back, catch these two a little bit later, maybe the third quarter, going into the fourth.
Corey Ivy's got a couple of picks already for Chicago. Birmingham, one of the best passing teams in the league. That one nearly picked off by Jason Bray. Incomplete.
We gotta run this ball, man. Huh? Return alert.
Courtesy of Bush. Look at some of the XFL rules here, Bob. Pass reception.
That's right. The receiver needs only 1 foot, baby, in bounds while he has possession of the ball for it to be completion. You'll see a lot of guys working hard, a lot more good, tough catches on the sideline.
I like that rule a lot, too.
Sure do.
Weldon here. A lot of time. He's going to scramble, and he doesn't usually slide. And he dives to the 35-yard line. Aaron Humphrey made the stop. He's very close to first down yardage.
Well, in the first 2 weeks of these of the XFL teams that have played Birmingham, the opponents have scored first. This drive very important for the Bolts, trying to kind of break a little bit of a bad series for them. Nice keeper there. And that's one of the things we love about Casey Weldon. This guy is not going to give it up. He is going to take all the yardage he can get. No sliding for him, unless of course, end of the game, he starts taking a beating. But you're going to see him fighting head first for as much as he can get.
Palazzo to punt. You wonder how smart that is sometimes, though. High punt. Got to get to the 41 to go to the 25. It's right around that mark as Preston receives the ball and carries it near midfield. So that was a high one and in a dangerous spot. And Chicago able to hang on. They'll have good field position when we come back to Legion Field in Birmingham.
The strong safety got it.
With the running back, it's all about reps. It's all about reps. I didn't get the opportunities that I felt I needed. They felt like a good package for me would be 15 to 20 touches a game, which averaged out to maybe 3 or 4 the first couple of games. But, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. I can only control what I do when I'm out there on the field. All I've ever asked for was the ball. And now I'm getting it, and I'm showing people that if you let me touch the ball enough, I'll figure out something.
Bob John can have no complaints here, getting the ball 46% of the touches so far for the Enforcers.
But he's definitely got one of his guys that he liked to watch and kind of emulates Barry Sanders. He likes to get those kind of touches, but so far today, the Birmingham defense really keying in on him.
Avery going to get a touch here. Squeaking through. Oh, look out! He was just tripped up last moment.
He was just about busted that one through, tripped up at the last minute.
I think it might have been Keith Franklin who just got a piece. Avery just darted through there. He's not a big guy at 5'9", 190 pounds.
What do I got?
Well, you know,
he's close to the first down.
That's right. They're going to go and measure now, but you know, he's one of those guys, as he drags it out sideways like that, as soon as he gets those shoulders turns and he accelerates, man, he's going to hit the hole.
That's short.
You can see there, he's just a little short of the first down.
Yeah.
John Avery, a real funny guy, too. Very light-hearted. It keeps everybody very loose, except when he's in the huddle. You'll get a sense of that throughout the game here today.
Turn around and keep going. But I think they're all going to cave on you.
All right.
I hope.
First round pick of the Dolphins a couple of years ago. And he was the guy the enforcers really wanted. First round pick. He's so tiny, it's hard to find him in the hollow.
We're trying to
Around the big line. There he is.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's all about getting the first guy, keeping the sticks moving. Man, I tell you, as a defense, I've lined up many a time trying to make this stop.
Oh, look at
Flea
that.
flicker.
Little flea flicker. Lester has a receiver wide open. Bailey
wide open.
At the 20. A good pickup on, again, the little chicanery from head coach Ron Meyer.
I have been on that defense when you got that inch to go, and all you can think about getting penetration, getting up in that lineman's face, making the hit on that running back when he comes through, because you know he's coming through.
Okay, good.
Right? Every single time, except, of course, when they run a flea flicker.
Ready?
The other thing that Stat pointed out is he's receiving a lot of yards, 177 yards. He's among not only the top rusher along with Salam, but the leading receiver in the league. He's 5th overall. A couple of yards again for Avery. Met up with Charles Preston, who had some comments before the game saying that Avery's not running on us today. We'll see.
Well, you know, I used to say that too, but didn't always work out that way.
Right.
You know, look about Avery, though. He has the ability to accelerate. Good vision inside.
Yeah,
You'll see him dance a little bit. A lot of times, if you don't have the ability to accelerate when you're dancing in there, you're going to get your hat handed to you. But if you can accelerate like he can, you'll find that spot.
Lester rolling, little soft one thrown out for Willie Tate, the tight end, and he gets a couple of yards.
Yeah.
Let's get down to Kip Lewis on the sideline. Kip, take it away.
Coach Ron Meyer, quick kick, flea flicker. You got anything else up your sleeve?
Well, you're going to have everything when you're playing the Bolts. Yeah, they're a good football team. So we just started the game. All right.
Big Ron was going to tip his head. Yeah, maybe we'll try the fake reverse in the next play.
Yeah, Ron has run them all in his lifetime, believe me.
Chicago, the top scoring team in the league, averaging over 30 points a game. Oh, nearly caught. Good attempt by Aaron Bailey. Diving was off his hand, incomplete.
Duane Butler coming in to make that last play. I don't know if Bailey would have caught the ball anyway, but man, Duane Butler would have taken his head off had he made the catch. He came in from his corner position deep and just about decapitated the man.
Andy Crossland will attempt the field goal. Should be about a 33-yarder, maybe 34-yarder for Crossland, who has been struggling a little bit, according to the head coach out of the University of Miami. Left-footed punter and place kicker.
Is that what Ron Meyer said? Struggling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he may have used some other choice words. Crossland's kick. And this one is perfect from 33, so the Enforcers are on the board first here at the Legion Field in Birmingham. The XFL on TNN is brought to you by Lugs, the boots and shoes with an attitude, since you never know what you might run into. Lugs, boots and shoes. By Warner Brothers' new motion picture, 3,000 Miles to Graceland, in theaters everywhere, Friday, February 23rd. By the United States Army, an army of one. And by smooth Busch beer and easy drinking, Busch Light. Well, the crowd loving it here at Legion Field. Not the score, but the atmosphere and environment coming out in a cool, a nice Sunday afternoon here in Birmingham, about 48 degrees. Bob got his luggage somehow after a couple of days. Got able to get a jacket on. Did you lose it on an airplane? What happened?
Nah, they kept my whole bag, you know. Kind of going through it, see if there's anything cool to wear.
Alexander near the 15. Got up to the 25-yard line, and that's where Birmingham will start. Well, Lee Rehrman occasionally gets under the skin of head coach Jerry Donato. Let's see what Lee's got in store right now. Lee, take it away.
Coach, 3 games in a row, you guys find yourself down early. What is up? Are you guys getting up late or something?
Yeah, we're going to have a good series right here.
There you go. I didn't expect much of an answer here. You know, this has been the way this Birmingham team has started, though. Every game so far, the opponent has scored first. And I think Jerry DiNardo was well aware of that and didn't need to be reminded by Lee. Lee loves working with Jerry, doesn't he?
I don't think they'll be exchanging greeting cards this year. As there is an injured player on the field.
If it's, yeah, I tell you what, number 50, that's James Willis. This is a huge, depending on the severity of the injury, this is huge for the Birmingham Bolts. James Willis, the heart and soul of that Bolt defense, and a man who has really been really corralling John Avery so far today, and as he's done all season so far. But you know, when you play ball and you get out there, and again, we're talking a 38-man roster. You got to get out there. If you're athletic, you play special teams. You get down there. He's got the speed. He's got the ability. And sometimes you just don't know. Looks like he just kind of took a shot. A little friendly fire there. Maybe just got dinged a little bit, locking it off.
Bob, how many times do you seem to see these injuries more often on the special teams where the bodies are coming from all angles at a heavy speed?
I'll tell you what, just watching the way these guys are hitting, though, too. And special teams is a place where guys really want to make an impression, so you see them throwing their bodies around a little bit more, a little harder than normal.
Look. Line 28. Hit.
Bostic. Got up to the 29. Aaron Humphrey. On the stop again of 4.
No. Okay. Nothing in there.
Go out?
No, he was everything hit the ground? Everything just hit. That's all. Huh? I'm all right. You remember hitting the ground, everything that happened? Oh, yeah. Let's go over here.
It sounds like that's what it was. Just got his belt rung. But they do have to check. You've seen a lot of times checking the neck, making sure there's no neck injuries. But
Bostic again. A 100-yard game last week.
Well, we talk about Casey Weldon and what this guy does as quarterback for this Bolt team. James Bostic has just been tearing it up for these guys. Although Weldon kind of runs this operation, Bostic is a guy that really gives him a nice balance, gives him some options, and takes some of the pressure off him so people just don't line up and come after Casey.
He showed us his tattoo. Never enough respect on his left arm. He's trying to earn it today. Diving up is Bostic for the first down.
Unless you're an anchor in the middle of that defense, you're out. You going to be ready here in a sec?
I'll be back. I'll be ready to go. Got a little ding, ready to go.
So that's good news for the Birmingham Bolts. Mr. Willis a little friendlier with Lee Rearman, Bob.
I don't think James really knows who Lee is yet. He's still trying to figure out who his own teammates are. You know, you get things like that, you do things like that. You feel disoriented, so you start like naming your own teammates. You know, my head's okay. I can at least know who my teammates are.
Oh, well then rolling. Oh, he's so comfortable. And amazing how a couple of weeks difference here to Williams, because we were here 2 weeks ago for the opener. This crowd was booing Weldon.
Do that no more, man.
They were asking for their backup, Jay Barker, popular guy here at Alabama.
I'll tell you what, Kevin McCullers is the linebacker that basically comes free, but take it out right there to Central Williams. Nice throw out of the sideline.
There's Jay Barker.
He's kind of the town favorites. Out of the University of Alabama, he gets into this place, will go wild, but Casey Weldon doing everything he can to control this offense and be the leader of this Bolt team.
Good throw there, and Ed Smith, the tight end, for a gain of a couple.
You know, they're mixing it up pretty good between the run game and the passing attack, getting it out wide on the sidelines, dumping it off in the middle, seeing Boston run the ball a little bit. Yeah, and I think this variation is going to take a little bit of the heat off of Casey Weldon.
Jay Barker led the Tide to an undefeated national championship season in '92. So Casey Weldon, he's well aware of how popular this guy is, but he also knows the coach and the team have confidence in him. Weldon going long. Jackson for an arm out, nearly pulled it in with one hand. It was incomplete, but at least thrown to the point where it could not be picked off. And that's, again, the moxie of the quarterback, Weldon.
Yeah, he's not, he'll work his short and work the short game a little bit, but then they want to keep that defense stretched. A little double move, nice double move by Quincy Jackson, but good coverage. Good coverage by the enforcers.
All right, now here it is. The big punt, it's got to go to the 33-yard line, then it's live. And you notice Chicago is a player right up around that 33-yard line, just in case. It's a short one. Palazzo gets it off, and the deep guy, Preston, will get it at the 15. Preston angling up. Good return of about 17 to the 32, and the Enforcers with the lead will take over there. Chicago on top early, looking to build here at Legion Field.
Lugs, the boots and shoes with an attitude, because you never know what you might run into.
This a feature Casey Weldon hopes he is not in again. The Lugs hits of the game. He took a beating last week.
That was the Lugs hit of the week, featuring the Lugs Frenzy. Be careful out there.
That certainly was a Lugs frenzy. It was not one hit of the week. It was the heat that it was the hits that Casey Weldon kept taking. And like we said, we've talked about Jay Barker. I know what it's like to have a guy sitting right behind you, getting ready to take your job away. And I tell you what, you'll do anything to keep your butt up off the turf and go out there and play. Casey Weldon did a great job of that.
Lester again. Bailey got away near midfield, and Willis came back for the injury, knocked him after a gain of 18. You know, Bobby Bowden was saying this week that Weldon's coach at Florida State, he's probably not had a tougher quarterback ever than Casey Weldon. And he said, you know, with that boyish face of his, that charm, you wouldn't know the guy was so tough.
Yeah, so far he's proven it. He keeps getting hit like that. That boyish face is going to be a thing of the past.
Wait, go.
Defensive guy, you never had a boyish face yourself.
I wasn't even born with a boyish face.
Yeah. Avery looking to fly through the hole, and he gets to the 40-yard line. John Avery, explosive for 9.
Nice trap up inside. Avery just seeing the hole, no fooling around. We saw it early on how he kind of took his time trying to spot the hole. This time he saw it quick. It accelerated. This Chicago team is trying to make a name for itself. Like you said, they have been gone. They have been on the road for 50 days. They have not seen their home turf since the season has started. And they're anxious to get back, and certainly a little ticker tape parade would be nice after a win.
Avery again, this time only a few. A lot of underwear when you talk about a 49-day road trip. That's, well, wow.
I think if you mention it with a lot of these guys, I think the word commando will come up quite often.
Avery.
Okay, upright, F8, C8, first down, ready?
Look for me. I'm about to hit on the field.
Okay. Look at, yeah.
50.
Semi-play action. Avery bombs away from Lester, but Preston could not catch up to that. Flag is down on the play.
Top block.
Yeah, your center had him, and he comes down.
You don't have to make that.
No, I have to.
All right, what was the result of the play?
They're talking about a chop block up in the line of scrimmage. One of the men was engaged, one of the linemen were engaged, defensive lineman engaged, another lineman came down and cut him in the legs.
Yeah.
Check the left side of your screen, you can see the men engaged right down into the knees. I'll tell you what, man, there ain't nothing worse. You just want to grab the guy by the face mask and say, listen, if you can't block me face to face, then you're not man enough to play the game. Get off the field.
Number 67 on the offense. 15-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Costly penalty on Benny Anderson, a backup offensive lineman. Bringing it back 15.
I had a guy in training camp one time. The guy did it like 5 times in a row. Finally, I walked into their huddle, and I told the vets on his team, I said, tell this rook to stay off my knees or I'm going to come back and I'm going to kill him. I said, Bob, go back to your huddle, will you?
Give it Avery. He got a few yards to midfield. Charles Preston crunched him down.
Good job, baby. Good job, Jimmy.
See James Willis back in. Let's check out, see how he's running things. See if the cobwebs are out of the head yet.
Sag orange. Sag orange. 50. Sag.
Now he called the defense all right. Sag orange.
What's that? What is that?
Well, hopefully it's the right defense for that team.
Good insight. There's a throw complete. Junior Lord, nice grab. He pulled it in around the 40. Oh, that's a good play by the receiver. We're seeing pretty crisp passing on both sides, which you kind of expected because Lester and Weldon are two of the better quarterbacks so far in the league.
You're starting to see a little bit more, a little sharpness, more sharpness out of the receivers.
99, sag on. Let's get out, D.
Sounds like they're just kind of playing kind of a base coverage, zone coverage defense against basically looks like a pass-oriented, got a shotgun situation.
Avery's in the front. If he wants it, no, he goes downfield.
That was a late hit.
And nobody home. I thought that was fine. That was a late hit on the receiver, the defensive back?
No, it was a late hit. No, it was a late hit on the quarterback.
Oh, the quarterback, yeah.
Quentin Reese came through right at the end and
all day.
Took a big shot at Tim Lester.
What?
All right.
No. Wow, that's real close. I mean, he just delivered the ball.
As a defensive guy, I agree with you. I wouldn't be calling that.
Come on, man. Come on.
You know what, though, as a coach,
the guy's coming at him.
I know you run all that way, man. You work that hard, you're gonna hit something.
Fag in to go.
As a coach, though, every once in a while you don't mind these aggressive penalties. It's the stupid penalties that you can't stomach.
Well, Chicago will get some time to talk it over. The clock winding out for the first quarter as the enforcers moving it down. And they have the early lead here in Birmingham. Back in Birmingham, and Tim Lester taking one for the team here, Bob.
That's for sure. Quentin Reese came around, gave him a late hit.
I'll take those shots all day. Let's go. We need this.
Hey, any way you can move the sticks and get that first down as an offense, you're going to do it. And if it means taking a shot in the back and get a penalty, they'll do that too, man.
Yeah, without that hit, it would have been an incomplete pass. Now they're in field goal range at the very least. Marching at the 24.
3:38.
Avery. Look at him dance.
Oh, look at that.
Bubble the ball. Oh. And Birmingham has recovered. Calvin Jackson recovered it. Avery coughing it up.
Well, that's exactly what Birmingham needed to do. People talk about stats all the time, but it's the takeaways that really dictate what happens in a game. Good, strong tackle, forcing that ball out. All that momentum that Chicago has been building up on that drive. All the good fortune they had going, all gone now, and Birmingham's got it.
You look at last week, Birmingham was ignited by the defense.
Right.
On a great play by Butler. Anthony DeCo's man. Bostic. Removing another flag thrown the last moment as Bostic changed direction.
Got down there in scoring territory. What happened on that play?
Just been sloppy with the ball. That's it.
Well, John Avery, as you saw the game face when the game is on.
Calvin Jackson, this whole season has been punctuated by you guys bending and not breaking. Once again, a big play for the defense.
Definitely, we needed. They were moving the ball. Chris came in and stripped the ball. I was there to pick it up. And hopefully, our offense can do something with it. We can go on and win this game.
Now, do you guys plan on this excitement by letting them drive down the field and come up with a big play?
I mean, we don't want it, but we're going to take it as they give it. It's going blow for blow. It's like the heavyweight fight. Whoever lasts long is going to win.
Weldon a fake. Bostic dropped the ball. Incomplete. Chris Schelling caused that fumble we were talking about last week's play, caused the touchdown on Butler as he made the hit on the Cosmo, and that turned the whole game around.
Right.
Fourth quarter of last week's game.
And you kept talking to John Avery, and here's the guy. You talk about this being a team game.
24 option on one.
But when it comes down to you, one guy that you can specifically say, hey, I dropped the ball. Man, the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Right now, John Avery can't wait to get that ball back.
Blue 88, hit.
Draw.
Inside handoff, it's Bostic. And he is earning his yards, and you can hear the crunching going along just for a couple of yards. Some big hitting by Chicago. It's going to be close to a first down. It is.
Well, the one thing is both these offenses, they're finding out that there's a lot of yardage there. I mean, there's a lot of yards in front of them. They have got to get it going. They got to keep the sticks moving. And if they don't, you know, it comes down to field position game.
Black 90. He moves. Black 90. Hit.
Well then, nice. Short throw to Williams. Gain of 5.
You know, for a team that's coming on, they've got some good timing down between quarterbacks and receivers.
Come on, man. You saw move. Defense, back up. Stack 8 coming through. Ready? Hey, I'm probably saw move now.
Chicago came in last in the league against the pass. And while they're working Boston, and certainly Weldon's well aware of those numbers. Steve Smith in motion. Boston earning some yardage to the 40. Birmingham, one of the teams that has not decided to use nicknames. We asked James Bostic why the team says, let's go with our last name in the back.
When you're trying to make a name for yourself, when people don't know you, a nickname, people still not going to know you. So we told young guys, you know, like, if you want somebody, you want to do good, you want somebody to recognize you, show them your name.
Well, Craig, there's definitely going to be some names that we're going to recognize after a while. Bostic is one of them, 6 rushes, 20 yards so far. It's tough yardage, but he's a big part of this Bolt offense.
Weldon.
Nice.
Oh, he fired it. Now they're going to incomplete. They're going to call it incomplete. Cortine really should have had that ball. It was a well-thrown strike. Cortine was diving, and he could not come up with it.
You know, that receiver position, it's all, I mean, there's a lot of responsibility. You got to get away, especially in the XFL, you got to get away from the bump and run. If they're going to man you, you got to be able to find the open spot. But then, on top of all that, you got to be able to catch the ball. Without catching the ball, the rest is moot.
Should he have had this one?
Watch this here. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He makes the break inside, finds an open spot. The ball hits him. I mean, it could have hit him in a better place.
Banged his knee, it appears, on the play.
You see him finish up at the end. They took a shot on him. Yeah, got his ankle twisted a little bit there at the end. Yeah.
Guy who hit him was Aaron Humphrey, who was playing with a chip on his shoulder. He says that Chicago has just given away $5 grand in their first 2 games.
Yeah.
We talked about them being 0-2, but they have been in both games. In fact, feel they blew the game. As you look at Humphrey last week against LA.
35.
Flag on the play.
Looked like Jason Chorek, number.
What number?
Looked like number 97. You want to ask me, ref?
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense number 97. 5-yard penalty, it's still 2nd down.
I try to help the guy out whenever I can.
We're all over that.
Hey, they ain't going anywhere.
Well, they had swapped out some of their personnel. They had taken a defensive back off. Troy Saunders came off, and Aaron Humphreys had come in, so they changed the defensive personnel. A little bit of it was everybody's a little jumpy up front.
Inside handoff, Bostic got away from one tackler.
Jeez.
And they got to the 47 again of 8 yards.
Counter tray. Little counter tray. OT, backside tackle and guard. Poland lead block, but more importantly, watch at the end of this run. Number 29, Quincy Coleman, should be embarrassed that Bostic stiff-armed him that bad. Oh, my God.
Bostic is 227. He's a big boy.
Quincy Coleman, 185 pounds. Watch it right here. Oh! Hey, as a defensive guy, you don't want to watch the video the next game.
Great catch by Williams. man, are these two guys on the same page or what? Weldon to Williams for a big gain of 17.
Wow, a lot of experience in the pro game for Stepford Williams, and boy, the chemistry that's developed between him and Weldon now, certainly something that the Birmingham crowd's got to be excited about.
Birmingham, their best march of the game. They fell down 19-zip in their first game, 6-zip last week. Able to come back for the win last week.
You go ahead. 88, hit.
Weldon wide open, Quincy Jackson.
You know,
of 7. These guys are wide open here.
And one of the things, too, looking at the Bolts, I mean, this is a team that's more of a vertical team. Every once in a while, you'll see them dump something out into the flat or out short intermediate game. But mostly, you want to see guys in slants, guys in the middle, long guys. And they'll get open, and Casey Weldon will take a shot in the back just like that again.
Black, 29. Black, 29. Good job.
Timeout called by the Chicago Enforcers.
Chicago, it's their fault.
Okay, now I'm loose. I got here.
The XFL on TNN is brought to you by the motor oil that provides maximum protection. Castrol GTX Drive Hard. By Buell American Motorcycles. To win one, visit XFL.com. By Burger King, got the urge. And by Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Hey, these Bolt fans are having fun and watching their Bolts on the best drive of the game so far for the home team.
Look at that, 9 plays, 59 yards so far, eating up some clock.
29. Blue 29. Hit.
Bostic finds a hole. He's got the first down inside the 15. And the drive moves on for the Bolts with a 14 gain of 6.
What a mix they've got going offensively between the pass game and the running game.
Blue 29. Hit.
Straight handoff. Bostic finds a hole, accelerates, and gets what he can get on a 9-yard run. Beautiful.
Yeah. Hit.
Is Bostic again, quick skip, but he was hit nicely in the backfield. Ray Austin came up from a strong safety spot with a good play to get Bostic tripped up.
From a defensive standpoint, one of the things you always take a shot for him. There you see Gordine. We saw him with the ankle injury as he rolled up over on the incomplete pass. Take him in and get a look at the ankle a little bit more, find out how extensive that injury is. Looking at that last play, though, with a guy like Bostic, a good-sized guy, he's got to have his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage to accelerate. If you can get as a defense good penetration before he can do that, you can shut him down.
Play action nicely pulled off by Weldon. Right over to Reggie Johnson for a gain of 8. It'll bring up a 3rd and short for the Bolts. Big play of the game here.
Do you think this Bolt team feels like they got a little chemistry going here? They didn't let it, they come out. Once again, they get scored on first. They don't let them affect them. They come out and they make some plays.
Dynamite zero combo. Make a play. What's the call here? Set.
3rd down and 2 for the Bolts.
Blue 88. Hit.
Bostic's going to go for the first down if he can. Going wide. Flag thrown as Bostic was tossed out of play about the 8-yard line. It's holding in the backfield against Birmingham. That's a costly penalty. Although, let's see what they do here. You didn't take the first down, you declined it.
Previous spot, or it's going to be 4th down right there. You got to come in. You can't go over there. You can't go over there. Come on.
One of your options is having it be 4th down.
Holding. Offense number 71. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
So Brad Palazzo will get a chance for the field goal as they decline it. They would have knocked him back to the 19, which puts you more at a 36-yard field goal if they didn't make it. I'm not sure I would have done this, but he's giving them a chip shot field goal here at the 16. We call it a 26-yard field goal attempt. Palazzo over 1 of the year, but it was a long 59-yarder. Kick is blocked. And the enforcers come up with a big defensive play.
Kevin McCullough Number 51. Nice job penetrating and making this play on the ball.
The defense making the most noise here at Legion Field.
Getting all painted up, so hopefully I'll be that guy that's on TV saying, look at this moron, it's 40 degrees and he ain't got a shirt on.
You smell what the XFL is cooking.
All right, the Bolts cheerleaders and the fans here enjoying the atmosphere. Chicago winning 3-0, but they had to be upset. Well, you never know from a cheerleader what happens in the game because they always have that smile.
Well,
and other things.
Look at it now. Now we get Lester and John Avery back on. If you look at the Bolts, they didn't get any points on that drive. They ate up some clock, 7 minutes, 30 seconds, but they kept Avery off the field for that long. Now let's see if the defense can shut them down.
And they smacked Avery to the turf on that play, but you got to connect, Bob, on a 26-yard field goal. They're just giving it to you, and it was blocked by McCullough, who got in. I guess they didn't block McCullough very well.
No, he was wide open. I mean, he came between the tackle and the tight end, and boy, it almost hit him in the legs. He came through so far. But you know, look at John Avery here. We've talked to him. We talked to him yesterday. He is just a determined football player. You know he's going to want to make up for that fumble in last series.
Lester, a little fake. Going up to Bailey up top. Great catch by Bailey. Aaron Bailey. Well, pulled a little fake and then took off. Big gain of 29. Lester to Bailey, and the crowd is giving it now to the Birmingham defense.
I'll tell you what, it was a beautiful double move. Aaron Bailey, check out Aaron Bailey. You're going to see Lester first pump the ball and then let go. At that point, Bailey had made his second move upfield. What a great concentration of pulling that ball in.
Schelling was asking the ref to see if the hit knocked the ball loose, but Bailey got the call. Lester throwing again. Another fake. This time wide open, but over the head of Bailey, and he had him free. And it is incomplete, but the hits keep on coming throughout this one today. You know, Bob, Casey Weldon has to be happy. He's only in one of those big hits.
Yeah, really. Well, I'll tell you what, the both defenses can't be very happy. They got a little penalty putting Chicago back, but right now, Tim Lester and that receivers of the Enforcers really taking advantage of those Bolt cornerbacks.
Watch where you go now. He's over to you. Hey, Freddie. Get out.
Lester to Avery. Look at him change direction. Picked up a couple of yards by doing so.
Well, that was the strangest play I've seen. Right before, they had 4 wide receivers, John Avery and Tim Lester in the backfield. Right before the snap, Lester went in motion. Who else is going to snap the ball to John Avery?
Yeah.
Ready? What is it? D7 Razor.
Chicago getting maybe a little too fancy for the moment.
Well, you know, it's not like it was going to fool anybody. You knew the ball was going to Avery, but at least it's making those defense think.
Lester firing, that time incomplete with double coverage around Aaron Bailey. Fox and Sloan covering. Well, John Avery's certainly an up-and-down day today, Bob.
Yeah, it certainly has. You know, they gave the ball a lot expected out of him. He shut him down early, but he found some running room. Got him some yardage, moved the first down, but it was the fumble that really has haunted him.
6 cross, unsnap, ready?
And the enforcer so far.
3rd and 15, and we've seen one quick kick today. Just to give you an idea, the defensive backs start about 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. Ball free if it's punted. After 25, either way, Lester's going to go conventional. Tim Lester firing over the middle. Picked off. In fact, should have been picked off, I think, by Chris Schelling, but he did not get incomplete. And now we will get the punt. No fair catch. And Schelling, he's doing push-ups. He knows he should have had it.
I don't know. Maybe they got a bet going in the locker room. Hey, you missed interception. You got to give me 10 push-ups. he figured get him done right away. Good coverage underneath James Willis, but it was Schelling coming from the safety position, making a beautiful snag.
The 32-yard line is the 25-yard distance from the line of scrimmage. Andy Crossland back to punt.
The ball will be live after 25 yards. It is live.
Williams had a big return last week. Tripped up and stopped at the 32.
We got a flag.
Biggest made the stop. We got a flag.
We got a flag down at the line of scrimmage. It's been one of the problems for a lot of these guys have been the fact that they cannot leave until the ball is kicked on the punt team.
Number 46 on the kicking team was illegally downfield. 5 yards will be added to the end of the run. First down.
That's Cheeky Egg Boonaway. That was downfield, the flag on him.
Hey, your job is to get down and make a play on special teams. It's very difficult to keep that adrenaline from keeping you on the line of scrimmage.
Hey, I'm Amy. Even though my degree is in early childhood education, my passion is for health and fitness. That's why I combine the two and become a personal fitness trainer. But my favorite thing to do is cheer for the Birmingham Thunderbolts. Thanks for stopping by.
That was for you, Bob.
That reminds me, I haven't worked out today.
When was the last time you worked out as Amy entertains the crowd here in Birmingham? A college degree, by the way, for Amy. Oh, in fact, all the Bolt cheerleaders. I was doing some homework on this.
She went to college?
All of them have gone to college.
That's right.
8 are still in college, 2 have degrees. Here's Bostic. Amy Beasley in a frustrating drive last time when they took it down the field and didn't get any points. They'd like to get on the board here. They're used to being behind them.
Let's go. Trey left, 92. Hard three now, hard three.
Well, you know, they know, and they've got to have a lot of confidence in the fact that both their run and their passing attacks are working. But they just also know they've got a lot of yards in front of them before that end zone.
And Forces blitzing. It's batted down right at the line of scrimmage. Aaron Humphrey made the play. We talked to Aaron yesterday.
Good job, Ray.
Tough guy, tattooed, bald head, ready for the WWF.
Was that scary?
Here we go, double right gun. Double right gun, 76-8. Z corner on one.
We talk about Casey Weldon, what he's doing in this passing attack. You know, and we talk about how it's a vertical game. One of his problems is he's not dropping into the traditional 7-step drop. He's just taking short drops. That's why he's getting popped so many times.
This time in the shotgun and on the move, Weldon. Nice soft pass.
Nice.
Good reception by Williams with Corey Ivory hanging all over him. And Williams still brought it in.
Let me up. Let it go, baby. Woo! Let it go, Casey. Here you go. Trip tail. Why up?
Hawk cover trick.
93 Z under on one.
Let's go. I got 8 seconds. You're listening to Step Williams there, and you can tell how much he's enjoying things today. 27-year-old wide receiver.
What we got? 2 minutes.
Okay.
2-minute warning.
We keep going.
Back at Legion Field, another terrific crowd on hand. In an area that loves its racing, they got out and made sure they put the XFL on their sports calendar today. Weldon over the middle has Jackson. Jackson in the block. And he gets to the 30 before Humphrey caught up with a gain of 18.
Wait, wrong, boy. Nice catch.
Nice catch.
Easy, what? Hey, easy. Okay.
Quincy Coleman slow to get up for Chicago.
This is this Bolt team, though. They got to put some points on the scoreboard. They have proven to themselves that they can move the ball, but going into halftime, they cannot go into the halftime down 3-0. They got to put something on the board for all the work and all the effort they put into this game so far.
They've had the ball for 15 minutes more than Chicago has. Weldon's looked pretty impressive as well. Let's see what happened to Coleman.
Watch Boston right there. Jeez. As a defender, that's when they say you got to have your head in a swivel.
Weldon wide open. Williams. Did he pull it in? Yes, he did. Another fine catch by Williams. Did you hear it?
Right here, baby. Yes, sir.
Williams and Jackson sound like they're on a roller coaster ride.
Sounds like Cedric Williams is just like in his rookie year in pro ball. Like he's never played before, having fun.
Or 60. That was at 35 or 60 on one. Let's go, let's go.
He has been around a long time, and he is playing like he's been around the game a long time.
Step.
Blue 60.
Got him down to the 6, first and goal.
Blue 60 and hit.
Weldon rolling right. Got a receiver. Cable McGuire down near the 2. These receivers, Williams, Jackson, and McGuire all live together. The 3 of them, they're very close off the field. In fact, they're all very neat, too. Steph says you have to be neat.
128.
Well, right now, they're working. The defense, Chicago defense, is blitzing, so they're really...
Slot R wing, H over 34 goal line on 1. Let's go, let's go.
They're leaving those corners out in man-to-man coverage, one-on-one on the outside.
Zone, zone. 88. Stay inside. Blue 88. Watch the ball.
Johnson in motion. Bostic follows him in for the touchdown.
Hey, let's get the ball here. Get the ball here, man.
James Bostic, a 2-yard touchdown.
Ready to go, bud.
His second touchdown of the year. Now the all-important extra point. And keep in mind, they're only clicking around 40% on these extra point attempts.
95.
Absolutely incredible how important these extra points have become in XFL football games.
Hit. 88. Blue 88. Hit.
Weldon firing the fade. Williams got it.
And that was just one more pass that Casey Weldon did not see completed as he took another shot. But what a great reception in the corner.
So this time the drive pays off, and a lot of smiles on both the sidelines and in the crowd here, Legion.
This is about the most complete I've seen this Bolt team look so far this year, Craig. Don't you agree? I mean, the run game with Bostic, using them a little bit in the passing attack, and then their vertical game, getting it, and even the short dump stuff in the middle. They really have found some good chemistry.
88. Hit the ball.
So Birmingham takes the lead 7-3. Their defense holding Chicago's offense in check here for the first half, led by Lester and Avery, and now the offense finally clicking. And you can not only see the confidence, you can hear it from Birmingham's offensive attack. Preston at the 10. Morrell. Oh, he got to the 25 where he was met by Cedric Curry. All right, courtesy of Bush, let's take a look at another of the XFL rules, Bob.
Got that right here. The forward motion rules. One offensive player may be in motion before the snap. We've seen that. Receivers usually moving towards the line of scrimmage, and players may not use forward motion until they're outside of the widest down lineman. So you cannot tease anybody inside and start moving towards the line of scrimmage when you're between the 2 tackles. It can only be the wide guys. Anybody outside of the tackles, usually one of the receivers or maybe a back in motion.
That look at the rules, courtesy of Bush Beer. 131 to work with for Chicago. Avery in the open field. Look out!
There you go!
Shelling caught up with him. Chicago in the hurry up. They do have 2 timeouts.
Go! Right or left? Left. 662. 662. 662.
Clock going here in the hurry up. It's a very slow hurry up. Avery. Gain of 6.
99, 99, 99.
Lining them back up. Defense taking their time getting set, but as soon as that offense is set ready to go, they're going to snap it.
The clock just started because he did get the first down. Lester's going to go for a bomb. Bailey slowing up that ball way out of bounds. Eric Sloan on the coverage. Coming up at the half, it's the XFL All Access brought to you by Burger King. We'll take you to both locker rooms for an unprecedented inside look as the players and coaches break down the first half. Don't miss the Burger King XFL All Access. That's coming up at the half.
Well, the way this game's been going, I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of coaches talking to a lot of players.
Lester, no room there. Game may be won. It was costly. They'll probably have to use a timeout here.
Big mistake on Lester. If you're going to make, you got to make that decision. If you're going to run, you got to run. He hesitated. The rush came back inside, collapsed on him, and he got nothing out of that one.
Well, James Willis called the timeout there. Not quite sure why.
Hey, James, if the clock's still running after this play, call timeout. Gotcha.
They want to go for it. Wow.
He thought I was blitz. Yeah, he thought I was blitz.
Birmingham wants an offensive chance here with 34 seconds to go.
It sounds like it. They're not going to just settle for the 7 points. They want to get the ball back, try it one more time.
Wow.
Hey, out cover 3. Out, do twist, do a twist, huh?
That's usual.
But they got to make sure.
They're going to get the ball if they even on a clean punt if they're at the barring a great return and they're deep in their own zone most likely. 34 seconds, and they're going to call timeout if they don't make it on 3rd and 9. You just heard it. Lester, he had a wide open receiver in Preston, but he threw it out of bounds. And they don't have to waste the timeout. They're going to get the ball back on 4th down.
Quentin Reese with another good pass rush inside, and hey, they know what they're doing, the Baltimore Bolts, or the Birmingham Bolts, that is for sure, as they keep a little time for themselves to make a play.
Steph Williams, who had the first punt return for a touchdown in league history, 95 yards, an XFL special. Ball is live at the 35, off the punt on 4th and 9. Steph's going to get a shot.
Good high punt.
Great punt, back to the 10, backpedaling. May not be able to rev it up, he cannot. And the clock, also with the great hang time, 11 seconds ticked off the clock. Run the clock out. Let's go back to last week in Williams.
Yeah, he made the, once he found his spot, he saw it, he made the acceleration. It was like he saw that opening right from the first 5 minutes, first 5 yards of the run. Didn't slow down until he scored. Man, that was a beautiful, beautiful run back.
Now, Bob, what do you think of the bravado now on Jerry Donato's part? Do you think, with just 18 seconds left, he's still going to try and throw it downfield or just take it in?
I think they're going to try, they're probably going to, I would think they would try and get something out of it, but from the formation, it certainly looks like they're just going to end this for him.
Jerry was probably counting on a good return to maybe get a field goal attempt. Didn't work out. So the first half ending, Birmingham leading 7-3.
James Bostic, a lot of preseason hype for John Avery, but a big statement by James Bostic in the first half.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go out there and get it done for my team, trying to get a victory in.
James Bostic, a 2-yard touchdown as you look at John Avery and the Enforcers heading out down by 4. The halftime festivities upcoming from Legion Field. Burger King, home of the Whopper, presents XFL All Access. We are at the half here in Birmingham, Legion Field, 7-3 here. A big night of XFL action last night around the league, featuring a couple of exciting plays and thrills for the crowd watching the XFL. Let's take a look. Are you ready for some XFL football in the desert?
Second down at 13, volley, LA. Volley.
18-yard touchdown. Bobby Maddox looking to throw deep. Maddox going deep. He's got a man. He's got a man. The pass is complete. David Dunn out of bounds at the 8-yard line. And Jose Cortez, 36-yard field goal attempt. It's up and good. And Jose Cortez is 3 for 3 tonight with his sock off. A wobbly kick.
He's got a field. It's a free ball. It's the biggest ball.
That's an XFL exclusive there. The ball went 25 yards. Was not fielded by LA. It's a long ball.
He's going to try a 51-yarder. You got to be kidding me.
From the Atlantic.
He got it. Wow.
Okay. And intercepted. The ball is intercepted by Keeper Kick. And this will be a $100,000 kick for Jose Cortez.
The money shot. There's the snap. The kick.
It's long enough. It's good. LA has beaten the Outlaws.
Hey, number 30. You hate me now, baby.
And a quick start by Kevin Coward. There all by himself. He snatches a football, but then loses it. Titus Winans is there to pick it up. It hit the official. That's a live ball if it hits the official, and indeed. Called that an interception. It hit the official right in the chest. There's Battle out of the backfield. Touchdown, San Francisco. First touchdown of the night, and it ties at 6 apiece. Battle all alone. Touchdown, Demons. There was no defender in sight. Cherry Battle has scored both San Francisco touchdowns tonight. This is the ball game. 4th down. San Francisco's Joe Blitz. Everybody in the house. Druckenmiller into the corner, and that one's picked off. And time expires on the Memphis Maniacs. 13-6 the final score as San Francisco wins on the road.
Welcome back to the Burger King All Access. That Whopper hitting you in the face, that's not too bad. Craig Benavides with Bob Golick. Las Vegas is lost, meaning that there's only one undefeated team left, and that is Orlando. A wild race in the West, but you got 3 teams already at 2-1.
Sure is. I'll tell you what, those games last night, just amazing. And I think a little rivalry developing there with that Vegas-Los Angeles thing going.
Great finish, too, with the Cortez field goal after being the GOAT a few weeks last week, actually. Now, here today, Birmingham. Well, they showed some great offense early in the game, but they finally connected James Bostic late in the half.
Somewhat anticlimactic with just a dive up the middle, but they have put together a pretty substantial offense, very balanced in the run and the passing attack.
Jerry Donato liked the look of that one, and we will go to the locker room in just a bit. But the other key was Steph Williams
5 minutes.
getting the conversion for Birmingham, and that got the Bolts to the 7-3 lead.
You know, a lot of times when you get down to the locker room like this, it isn't the head coach just jumping down everybody's throat. All the position coaches are talking to their players, correcting mistakes. Maybe they saw something that the other team was doing that they haven't done in the past. So there's a lot of individual meetings go on in the locker room at halftime.
We'll be back with more. We'll go to the Chicago locker room when we come back to Legion Field. The Bolts leading by 4.
Our Burger King All Access Pass continues right here in the Chicago locker room as they get things straightened out. The coaches had their say. Now the players are having their say. See Ron Myers getting his guys ready, and
well, one guy he may have to worry about here in the second half is already has 5 catches and the extra point conversion. Steph Williams, who had that big play last week for the Bolts.
There are no fair catches in the XFL.
Of course, here's one of the charms of the league. That's the no fair catch rule.
Makes his punt return very, very interesting.
Williams will drop back to the 5. Elias missed it. Here he goes. He's got some room, only the punt of the beat. And he's got a beat. Stepford Williams is going all the way. 95-yard touchdown for Stepford Williams.
Unbelievable.
In this league, since there is a no fair catch, it's pretty much set up for a return. So probably if it was in the NFL or whatever, I probably wouldn't even feel that punt.
That play would never have happened before the XFL was formed. What it's done is it's put the 4th down back in football.
The only other guy with a shot at him was our cameraman. He elected to get out of the way.
When he caught that one, and as I was sitting on that nice heated bench, and I don't think he had a bigger fan in the stands or in the world pulling for him to take that all the way to the house.
The Bolts live in the locker room, ready to head back out is Steph Williams. And I think Casey Weldon was happy not only for the points on the board, Bob, but the fact that he did not have to go out to the field where it was around 0 degrees by that point with the wind chill.
Look at these guys feeling very good about themselves, playing at home. I'm telling you, you know, we talk a lot about chemistry and about what, you know, what happens on teams and how they develop. And certainly, you know, it's an overused term sometimes. But what we're seeing between Casey Weldon and Steph Williams right now is can't be called anything else. They really are getting smooth chemistry between the two of them.
That has been the XFL All Access Pass at the half. Brought to you by Burger King, the home of the Whopper. James Bostic, the touchdown for the Bolts, giving Birmingham their 7-3 lead.
And remember this too, guys. I mean, Craig, we're talking about a situation, even though Birmingham controlled the end of that half, they got the momentum. They really looked good. They rallied to get that point, those points on the board, carrying the momentum into the halftime, into the locker room. And it's still only 7-3.
Hey, Tim Lester. All right, guys, Tim's on the headphone. We'll get him in a second.
I got to take this call. You love it.
What's up, Bob, with the Chicago offense? They came in averaging almost 31 points a game, the best in the league so far, and they're held to 3 in the first half.
Well, Tim Lester's a good quarterback, but I think it's very easy to see that the offense revolves around John Avery. And that defense came gunning for Bear, and that Bear was John Avery. The Bolts really shutting him down.
Yeah. Out of 4.
Yeah, I'm looking at throwing the 8.
Oh yeah.
Behind the mic back.
Yeah, that's the way it was got before him.
Listening to the offensive coordinator Steve Endicott
what about
of Chicago talk to Lester.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, anything that has intermediate route, we'll take. I gotta go warm up, coach.
Okay, and all the quicks. All right, buddy, I got it.
All right, cool.
So it sounds like Tim is going to be comfortable with the short, intermediate route passes.
That's all right. They just let go. So. Yeah, he doesn't.
Oh, he does. That's so short. So Birmingham, which did win the opening scramble and elected to kick the ball off, will receive to start the second half. That works out nicely, especially when you take the lead at halftime. Start off with the ball, and they gain the momentum at the end of that first half on 0. Andy Crossland to kick. Curtis Alexander takes a line drive at the 8. Up to the 20. Bounces off the tackle. And gets near the 35-yard line. Nice return by Curtis Alexander. Donald McCall on the stop. Time for the Miller Lite halftime stats. This look at the numbers brought to you by Miller Lite. Not by Casey Weldon, although he had to like the first half numbers as well, particularly
Here we go.
7 under the Bolts.
You're looking at rushing yards, about the same for Bolt, but the Bolts and the Enforcers, but really it comes down to opportunity, when those yards were gained.
Bostic earning his yards, gain of 2.
Come on, come on.
James Bostic.
Here we go.
Who helped coach at high school back home. And, you know, just another one of these guys, and it's almost the same story, who just plays for the passion, the love of this sport that has captured the hearts of America for a long time, the game of football. Incomplete.
Oh, you're too heavy for me.
Well, do-si-do there with Jason Jordan and Casey Weldon. Not the first time his shoulder pad has come outside the jersey.
Not at all. I'll tell you what, it looks like this Enforcer defense looking to, they only came with three men rushing in the last one, putting a lot of people in coverage.
Read right on 1.
Check out the little dance here at the end.
What's this?
Trying to get him up. Yeah, I guess us D linemen are a little bit too big.
Do-si-do is popular down here.
He's doing it out. He's doing it out.
3rd and 8. Weldon throwing a bullet, and he got his man. What a pass. Quincy Jackson on the catch in double coverage, Bob. He somehow slithered that ball through there.
Not only did he have double coverage between linebackers, Humphrey and McCullough, but he also had safety and coverage over the top, and he shot that ball in there.
Dynamite. Dynamite, cover 2, ready?
What's happening now is the last couple of plays, they're only rushing 3 guys. They're putting everybody in coverage. They want to make it tough. They want to make him have Weldon make a mistake, have somebody back there to pick up interception maybe.
Back to Bostic, and the ground game loosening with the arm of Weldon. A good gain of 5 or 6 there.
And one of the problems that's going to happen if you start putting 3 guys in the line of scrimmage and loosening up your coverage people, being afraid of that passing game, then you don't have the people up front to stop the running attack.
Here we go, dynamite, 0 combo, ready? Let's go, let the check.
That's Jamie Baisley, the right inside linebacker.
Clear boot here.
Instructing the defense.
Set. Black 90. Far rear. Yeah. Black 90. Hit.
Well, the quick pass, Jackson. They're giving him a lot of room off the line of scrimmage, and that's good for the first down. A gain of 8. Are they too worried to play him and bump him right off the bat or what? A lot of room there.
Part of the problem, what's happening now is that the defense is reacting instead of proacting. They're not making they're not playing their game. They're reacting to what the Bolts are doing, and they're always 1 play behind.
Set. Blue 29. Blue 29. Hit.
Bostic, big ball, and he's grabbed by the shoelaces by Ray Austin, who made perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle.
Man, are you kidding me? He was just about to bust it through that second line. Safeties should come up strong. Check it out here. You're going to follow Bostic right through the hole. Well, look at that open space he had.
I may be going on a limb, Bob, but I bet even you could have went through that hole.
Let's not get cocky.
Come on.
We talked about the great mix in this Bolt offense. 3 plays, sorry, 6 plays, 3 rushes, 3 passes.
How about back to the line of scrimmage, baby? Bostic again. 1 arm. Look at that strength of Baisley. Who's got it? Baisley was hanging on with 1 arm. Enforcers say they have it. Let's see if the refs agree.
The ball belongs to Birmingham. 3rd down. 3rd down.
Well, Bostic got caught in the backfield. He was locked up. Quincy Coleman, number 29, comes in. Watch him here. Watch Bostic. He's going to get grabbed. He gets locked up around the legs. There it is. Quincy Coleman ripping it out.
I don't know.
Hey, you don't want to be at the bottom of one of those piles. I've been down there, man.
Been there?
It's ugly.
What's it like down there?
Oh, it's dark. It's dark, it's ugly, and...
I don't know how Chork did not get that ball when it popped out. Certainly was a fumble.
Hit. Blue 88. Blue 88. Hit.
Weldon fires. It's complete to the tight end, Ed Smith.
He might have
5-yard gain. Perhaps one of the only players here who's never played college football. Went right to a pro baseball career.
It looks like they got the first down, moving it ahead.
Did they not call that a fumble in the last play, or was it? Did he call Birmingham's recovery?
Birmingham recover.
Oh, nice house again here at Legion Field. They are really supporting their Bolts.
Well, the Birmingham fans watched their team beat the Hitmen last week and figured, hey, let's give them a warm reception.
Bostic. He picked up a couple, backpedaling before Ray Austin ran into him.
Well, the linebacker play is what it's going to take you to shut down the run. Good penetration. Baisley here taking on some big offensive linemen, making a play. I'll tell you what, he's a heck of a ball player, leading the team in tackles, and he's got great flow, great ability to not only get up into the line of scrimmage, but he can roam around the field quite a bit.
Out of football, worked at the Chicago Board of Trade for a while, may become a broker at some point as well. Weldon with plenty of time. Throwing it wrong. Could be out of the end zone, though. Quincy Jackson nearly pulled it in, but he was out of play. And it's incomplete. Duane Butler with the coverage on the long pass.
Well, Greg, what we're seeing once again is a Bolt team that has put together a 5-minute or more drive once again. Certainly, they want it to end in some points.
Base.
but the fact that they can control the clock, control the first down markers is something that's showing maturity in this offense.
Big play here, 3rd and 8.
What we got? What we got there?
43-yard field goal. They're not getting any ground here. In motion is McGuire. And throwing it long. And Step Williams not on the same page, it appeared. Weldon thought he was going to go to the end zone. Step looked like he cut in toward the post on the blitz.
Yeah, good blitz. He had to get the ball away, but he had a receiver in motion towards the line of scrimmage. Tell you what, I love that rule because defensively you have the ability to bump and run. So you figure the offense has to have something for them. And that motion from the line of scrimmage really gives them a full-speed receiver when that ball is snapped.
43-yard attempt. It was 26-yarder block earlier. Palazzo, does he have enough distance?
Attaboy. Attaboy.
No, he's short. This time it was straight, but Palazzo came up a couple of yards shy, and so does Birmingham, trying to go on the board early here in the 3rd. So another long drive by the Bolts. That winds up with no points. 7-3. What is going on with Chicago here? Again, averaging almost 31 a game. Highest scoring team in the league, and they've been shut down so far. Lester, that pass found the money to Bailey. Up to the 45. One of the interesting characters of the Bolts, a guy who had another job before football, Jimmy Brumbaugh.
My name's Jimmy Brumbaugh. I'm with the Birmingham Thunderbolts defensive tackle. And before I got in the XFL, I worked for a company in Montgomery making boxes. We made small boxes, big boxes, bolt boxes, all kinds of boxes. Well, I worked a midnight shift. You know, we'd have 90,000 boxes to move out for that week. And those days working in that factory and making these boxes made me really appreciate football.
John Avery appreciating his chance to run there with a good gain. As you saw the story of Jimmy Brumbaugh, who said
we hope
he didn't know there were so many different sizes of boxes to make. But
almost sounded like the whole shrimp thing. You know, shrimp kebab, scale of shrimp. What kind of boxes you got there, Jimmy? And I'll tell you what, he's watching an awful. I don't know if you hopefully he wasn't watching his little piece because they ran right up the middle on him.
Avery. Oh, he was hit hard. Was that Brumbaugh? I think that was Jimmy Brumbaugh. Flag on the play.
Two personal fouls. Okay. 77, right, 50.
After the play was over, personal foul, 77 on the offense. Personal foul on the defense. The penalty's offset. The down will count.
Yeah, the play had ended, and Chris Perez. Oh, geez. Nice hit by Brumbaugh. Right there, Perez takes a shot at Willis, and Willis just getting that double two-hand shot and knocked him on his butt. Unbelievable power of that guy.
Hey, Perez goes 290, too.
Oh, jeez.
But Brumbaugh almost on cue after the piece red, making a good tackle, and the play did count.
Man.
Play action, Lester. Going for his receiver, who tried to come back, Preston for the ball, and it's incomplete. Eric Sloan on the coverage. Ball thrown a little short that time by Lester. Here it is again.
Catch it again.
Ooh. Would you say Willis got his money's worth on that one?
I think Willis got his money's worth, and
Perez did not.
I guess it's just called the XFL. Is that freedom of expression?
Yeah.
If you're not happy, let them know it.
Hey, it's especially nice when the other guy gets the 15-yard penalty, too. Perez will tell you it's because of his left ankle sprain. 3rd and 10. Lester over the middle. Man was hit early, I thought.
There's a flag.
No flag.
No flag. No flag.
Bailey was hit, I thought, before he got the ball. You agree?
Yeah, okay, just a little bit. Man, it climbed over the back. Absolutely climbed over the back of the receiver. Sit right down the bottom of your screen right there.
That's brutal. That's a bad
Calvin
call.
Jackson just a little bit early on that play, but the rest don't catch it.
So good play for Jackson as it works out.
17-yard line is where the free ball is.
No fair catch. Step Williams is going to have to return it. Flag down as well. As Williams gained only about a yard. I don't know if there was a hold in front of him or he wasn't given the 5-yard danger zone. There
were guys in the danger zone that didn't give him his 5 yards.
One thing for sure, the blood's starting to boil here at Legion Field if it hasn't already.
5-yard belt.
Kick catch interference. Number 14 team, violation of the 5-yard halo. 5 yards will be added from the end of the run, first down.
So Birmingham will take over at the 18 when we return.
Offensive lineman for the Enforcers weighs about 280.
He was trying to draw a personal foul there. You know, I didn't play too smart for my team. I almost put us in a bad situation, but we're no punks over here.
Wow. They are not punks over there. You stand up for your teammates, that is for sure.
He had that Muhammad Ali pose, too, after the knockdown. Down goes Sonny Liston.
You know, looking at the replay, I don't even know if it was Perez that bumped him.
25.
That fight was stopped short. There's Birmingham again. They could chug it with the lead here.
Now, Mr. Perez, you heard what James Willis said. Did he actually knock you over like that?
Oh, did you see him? He's just a huge man, and he really scares me. I can't sleep at night. He's such a tough guy.
That's the left tackle. And James Willis is not quite amused with that.
Craig, what else are you going to do when somebody puts you on your butt? What are you going to do? You got to make it look like it's no big deal, I guess.
You're going to have to go back to Lee Reuben.
Nobody's ever put me on my butt, so I don't know.
Come on.
What?
Ron Meyer did. He cut you. He cut you. Here's Bostic. Look at it go! He's still free, and he gets over the 35 to the 38. James Bostic with a huge 16-yard run.
I don't know. I think James Bostic is sticking it to us. I think he was like a little upset that we were talking about John Avery at the beginning of the show so much. Look at that. And this is what I absolutely love in football, watching a guy, the desire just to do his job and to do it so well. Amazing.
Bostic went to Auburn. Well known in these parts out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Blue 66 and hit.
Weldon got a nice block in front of him and then helped him make the completion. And the line's doing a good job for Casey Weldon Williams on the reception.
You know, as long as Casey doesn't have to stand back there too long, and you know, don't take anything away from the offensive line. They're doing their best out there. But if he takes a little bit deeper drop, gets rid of the ball, and they like to work the vertical game, but he can't hold on to the ball too long, or he is gonna get hit.
Oh, tight right, tight right.
Right now, this defense is just on its heels because they don't know if they should line up and come up and play run, or they should sit back and play pass.
Curtis Alexander spotting Bostic, and he was introduced to Larry Fitzpatrick on the right end.
Baisley and the boys came up and decided to play a little run there. Number 53, Jamie Baisley. Good job. As a linebacker, he'll be calling the plays here for the defense.
Match up now. Stack 8-3. Ready? Match up. Sorry. Play it. Guys, play it.
I thought that was you with the heavy breathing there, Bob, but that was not me. That was Jamie Beasley. Okay. 3rd and 3. Big play here, especially for the Chicago D. Trying to get the ball back down by 4. And Weldon didn't like what he saw, and he's going to call timeout. The first for the Enforcers of the second half. Birmingham by 4. Marlowe, Brian Bosworth, Chris Raggi, and Michael Barkan will have the call from Giant Stadium at 7 tonight. And it's a big game for the Hitmen. like Chicago, they are 0-2 and do not want to go down 0-3
Lose 68
with a 10-game season.
Lose 68 hit.
Weldon rolling, thinking about running, and still fires it. Oh man, to Williams, and that's again the poise of this quarterback.
Let's keep it going.
Damon Gordine, a big drive out here. You're out here rooting on your teammates, but a tough break for you personally, young man.
Yeah, it's not about me right now, though. I just want my team to win, and I'll deal with my situation. I'm all right.
Damon injured his ankle earlier in the game.
Check suit.
And went off the field.
Check suit. Set. 88. Lou 88. Hit.
Weldon complete to Smith. Ed Smith makes the catch. Guy who hit 331 in AAA. He knows about pain, this guy, because he never got promoted to the big leagues. Gave up his attempt after 9 years in the minors, and then ended up going to the NFL Europe, the NFL for 4 years, and he's here now in the XFL.
He's getting the ball now, part of this Bull offense. Tell you what, look at the Chicago's defense. You'd think that they would be making some more plays, but I don't know if it's the Chicago defense playing bad or the Bulls just playing well.
Inside handoff. Bostic.
Man.
I don't think Chicago wanted him to get the first down. You and that
they ran another counter tray OT, backside guard and tackle playing. The linebackers, everybody's got to get up into the line of scrimmage. Number 50, Aaron Humphrey. Makes the hit. Man, was that beautiful. I tell you what, as a defender, there's a lot of these tackles where you just got to trip people up and try to pull them down. But every once in a while, you get that beautiful feel of just sticking your face mask in somebody's chest and listen to the air just rush out of their lungs.
That's what you call beauty, huh?
88. Shift out there. 88. Hit.
Bostic. Again, nearly decapitated as he picked up 1 yard on the play.
You want me to show you what it feels like?
No, you just stay right over there, big guy.
Just checking, man. Just trying to help.
Trying to hit somebody. Go ahead and Rob Meyer cut you about what happened? After 3 years, he just cut you. That was it.
Yeah, well, Ron Meyer he came in as the new coach for the New England Patriots. I got cut. And he says now that it wasn't his idea. But we'll talk more about that.
Very close to the first down here. They may mark this here. Ron admits it was a bad decision as Bob was moved over to Cleveland and became a Pro Bowl NFL player for several years with the Browns and Raiders. Let's see here.
Ready? Stretch it out. Stretch it out.
Nope. It's about a folding short of a first down.
Now, Craig, remember this. We have seen, team wants to go for it. We have seen drives already. Bolts have put up a couple of drives, 7 minutes, 5 minutes, and have come up with no points. They're going to want to keep this one going, try and get that first down.
Zero combo.
Slot R wing, H over, 10 wedge. On one.
So far this drive, 8 plays, 45 yards.
The Bolts look 1 for 2 on 4th down this year.
Looks for Weldon to do this himself in a couple of inches.
Well, went down low, and it looked like he did get the first down. Well, last week he tried to go up high, as you recall, was
right, and he got stolen.
This time he went down low for the first down.
Yeah, he went up high. Best thing to do, I don't care if you're a quarterback, who you are, if you have some leg drive, it's best to use it. When you go up in the air, as soon as it's a good linebacker, somebody pops you, all your momentum stops. This time, well, decide to use the leg drive.
A little safer, too, as the third quarter winds down. Big first down for the Bolts, who continue to lead here in Alabama.
Yeah, dang it, yeah.
To win this game, of course, the big bonus in the XFL, $2,500 per man if you win a game. What do you do with that money?
The team decided, a lot of the guys decided to take $100, each man $100, donate that toward the practice squad guys. And I guess we'll take the rest of it to cover our margin calls with Dell and Cisco. You know, they're killing me right now.
Mine's in the bank. Got kids to take care of.
off-season vacation, more bills to pay, and my son's education as he grows up. So 2,500 is a lot of extra incentive, I think.
Casey Weldon,
and we're talking
father of 4.
We're talking about $100,000 split amongst everybody. There's the Weldon family that would be enjoying their $2,500.
Yep, that's Kendall, Alexis, Logan, and Kate, his boy. And one of the reasons he's back playing is for his little 2.5-year-old to watch him play.
I'll tell you what, he's doing a heck of a job of running this offense, but maybe we should talk to his wife and warn her a little bit about those tech stocks, man. They're having some problems now. I don't know what he's still sitting there with them.
His wife owns a marketing company, Kate Sports, that Weldon owns with his wife, and that's what they've been doing outside of football.
79 Z-post on 1. Be ready for all.
14. We got 50. Set. Watch your crosser. Right 29. Right 29. It hit.
Bostic.
Oh,
he's met the
swarm.
The enforcers living up to their name in that play. Jason Churek and Aaron Humphrey led the charge.
Hey, let me say this. It's great when you're really just stone a running back, but sometimes it's even better when you hit him when he's changing direction. Because it doesn't even hurt that much, but it looks like you killed the guy. He's trying to make that cut to the outside. The backers swarm on him, and boom! That's a beautiful thing.
So you want to be a running back. 3rd down and 9.
38.
Birmingham 5 for 10. Very effective on 3rd down today. That was a rare through the hands of Williams, but that did not look like it had first down numbers on it anyhow. What do you do?
We got to punt it, man. Punt the ball. Punt the ball. Punt the ball.
Well, he's going to punt the ball. Craig, so far they have one drive of 7 minutes, 30 seconds, another one of 6:40. This last one was just over 7 minutes, and all of them with no points scored.
Interesting here at the 30, what is that, 34, would have been a 51-yard field goal attempt. He's going to punt it, but again, it's live after it goes 25.
Yeah. Plus, it's all about field position, too,
Craig. The 8-yard line.
Illegal formation. Illegal formation.
Flag is down on the punt. Live ball. Fielded comfortably by Coleman. He's got to return it. Up through the 12, but again, a flag was down. You heard somebody yelling illegal formation. I don't know
Smart
which player that was. But we'll see what the call is.
All right, we're going to tack it on right here. We're going to tack it on. Illegal formation on the kicking team. Less than 7 men on the line of scrimmage. 5 yards will be added to the end of the run. 1st down.
Casey Weldon, a boatload of offense today, but only 7 points, buddy.
Man, it's crazy. I don't know. Nobody scored a lot of points this weekend, so I guess it's contagious.
Yeah, they have moved the ball very well. In fact, you look at the possession time. They've held the ball almost 30 of the 47 minutes of this game, and yet you look at the board, and Chicago's very much in it. And there are Yankees flying all over the place. Looks like a procedure on Chicago.
Right now, 240 total yards for Birmingham, only 165 for Chicago, so
Prior
definitely...
to the snap, false start, offense number 60.
That's Tony Ramirez.
5-yard penalty. It's still 1st down.
Right guard out of Northern Colorado.
Oh, these guys. I mean, this Chicago team, both sides of the ball.
Left, swing screen 9, 1st down. Ready?
Tough time getting going, and right now backed up against their own goal line.
Lester looking for his outlet in Avery. Did he catch it? Incomplete. They're saying incomplete. Birmingham was hoping they recovered. Patrick Scott came up with the ball, but the referee ruled incomplete right off the bat.
Frank, the only question there would have been, was the ball thrown forward or was it lateral? And it looks from just on first inspection that it was a regular forward pass.
Birmingham may have argued that he had it, but it looked to me that he was juggling like he was a circus act on that play.
Hey, if there's a ball laying on the ground, you better pick it up. Your coach is going to chew you one.
Well, he almost pulled that one in at the last moment to make it a catch. He's lucky he did. 2nd and 15. Oh. Avery up the middle. Well, you think the XFL is Raw action? Wait till you see WWF Raw. That's 2 hours of the edgiest action on TV. Don't miss the #1 show on all of cable tomorrow night at 9, 8 Central, right here on TNN, the national network. And right now, a huge 3rd and 8 for Chicago. A disappointing 1 for 5 on 3rd down this afternoon. And the clock starting to become a factor. Leicester in traffic. And he finds the receiver. Throws it. Even picked off. Calvin Jackson. Calvin Jackson for the Birmingham Bolts has picked it off around the 27-yard line.
That was just a stupid choice of throws. He threw it into coverage, and you know, face it, this whole, since the beginning of right before halftime, momentum changed to the Bolts side, and it has not come back. Defensively, they're all over Leicester.
Calvin enjoyed this one, huh?
It was just, you know, Tim Lester, and you know, on the surface, you don't want to blame him because he's a guy who leads his team and wants to try and make something happen, make a big play to switch that momentum around. But, man, when you're down in the shadow of your own goal line, you don't take a chance of giving the ball up.
And Calvin enjoying the opportunity to express himself on the play after you see the run.
Calvin Jackson, 2 big plays today. You had a right to celebrate, buddy.
Yeah, I had to.
What's the name for that dance?
That's a DB thing. Birmingham Stomp.
All right, man, just make it up as you go along.
I think it's a rookie mistake by the quarterback. He was in trouble trying to make something happen. 4-point game, you can't do that.
No, you can't. And like I said, especially not down in the shadow of your own goal line. Put a guy in a team like the Bolts who actually move the ball in a position to score.
Oh, nice fake handoff. Well, it looks like he may run here. Shoulder down, and he bangs right into Jason Bray. Bray took the worst of that hit by Casey Weldon. As you look at Casey's wife, again, and his kids. Intense guy who loves playing this game.
Well, nobody takes the hit that he's been taking. Watch it here, naked boot. Jason Bray to knock him out of bounds.
That's just the look of a, she's a concerned wife.
But you know what? She's seen worse, so I don't think she was felt that bad about that one.
Weldon will dump over the middle in traffic for Ed Smith. Ed looking for a call from somebody. Chicago played him well with a blitz. Weldon had to dump it, but again, smartly, only Smith had a chance to catch that ball.
Field goal. Let's go. Let's get
Jamie
a block.
Baisley creating all the coverage.
Here. Yeah. Right. Here we go. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
A 46-yard attempt by Palazzo had one blocked and was short from 43 in the 3rd quarter.
He was
0 for 2 today.
Way short of the last one.
Good leg there.
Leg.
No good. Wide right for Brad Palazzo, who's having a disastrous day. And it remains 7-3 Bolts. And by Miller Lite, grab a Miller Lite, it's Miller time. We are back at Legion Field. And the crowd rooting on their Bolts.
Hey, what happened to that girl's hair? Man.
What? You don't like that look?
Something exploded in there, man. Definitely up for this game.
You know, you think she spent 3 hours putting the paint on, you got to nick her. Yell for the hair. I don't know. And in motion was Avery. He's going long. Lester may run. Going to pick up a block. No, Tate can't block for him, and he gets to the about 38-yard line, gain of 4.
Coach, in the open field today, you're an offensive powerhouse. In the red zone, you guys really stink.
Well, we'll be better next time we get in there.
Any change in game plan so far?
A little bit.
What is it? You want to let us in on it?
Quick kick.
Quick kick. Jerry DiNardo, again, very short with Lee Rearman. Although Lee brings up a very valid point. I mean, they just have not played well. They have stunk in the red zone. He's exactly right. Lester, ball down by Johnny Mitchell, who made the big interception a week ago.
Well, that was just a blown block up front. Watch it up front. You're going to see it from Lester's point of view. Nobody there to pick up the backside.
Johnny Mitchell, the lowest pick remaining on the active Bolt roster, 57th round of the XFL draft.
You know, we're talking about a Chicago team now that has only run, I believe, 10 plays in the second half of this game. You got to believe that with the weather, the temperature, they've got to be cold and a little stiff. And it's just not functioning. That's obvious.
The crowd chanting defense as Lester fires. Did Preston grab it? Yes, he did.
Got it.
Complete. Nice catch by Preston. A gain of 12. Hey, despite all the problems for Chicago offensively, they're 4 points down.
You know, you're exactly right, and that's why Lee brought up a good point with DiNardo. It's like, I don't care what you've been doing yardage-wise, but if you don't have the points, it doesn't matter at the end.
There's the rule, too. I think he only had 1 foot in. One foot in is all you need in the XFL. And that paid off there for Royal Preston, and all of a sudden, the enforcers are in business. Back to Avery. Bursting wide right. And Avery falling down as he got to about the 41. He's having trouble keeping his balance a little bit.
I don't know what's happening. The Birmingham defense think that they're playing that much better, but something is a little bit of a fire. I don't know if they've just warmed up for Chicago, getting some plays under their belt, but they're starting to pound.
Choice, Oscar. Come on, ready?
Face it, this Birmingham defense hasn't had to do too much in the second half of the game.
That's because the offense is on the ball for 10 more minutes. 385 for Birmingham. The motion is Preston again. He's got it. Spinning around, though, cannot get away from Duane Butler. A gain of 7.
You know, that was interesting, and I don't know if we can see that one again. Went in motion. Preston went in motion towards the line of scrimmage. As the ball was snapped, the defender, has to respect the speed, backs off. Preston stops and makes
great call.
Snag. Yeah.
And down by 4, they can do moves like that, pick up 6 here, 8 there. Avery. Chicago just hoping he can bust one loose. But he gets about 3. He's close, very close for the first down. Avery thinks he's got it.
First, baby.
That's the first. Yeah, it is.
He says that's the first.
Third down. Third down. Third down. Third down.
You know, we had a little taste of Avery's sense of humor.
Play clock at 10. They're not going to get it off here unless they call timeout. Play clock at 5. And they're going to have to call
timeout. Well, John Avery arguing that point, play clock ran out.
Certainly carried the ball today a while, but Brad Palazzo's having a miserable day. The first field goal attempt was blocked from 26. Then he was short on 43-yarder in the third quarter, and then moments ago he goes wide right, had the distance here from 46. So instead of a potential 16-3 lead for the Bolts, they are stuck with a touchdown and a conversion and a 4-point lead.
Brad, a tough review of today up there on the Tron. Is your confidence shaken?
No, I just got to go out and do my job. I've missed 2 field goals today, and I need to go out and focus on my job and do it.
Hit the gym a little bit.
Third down and a big one. Lester, the keeper, did he get it?
Looked like he got enough forward lead to pick up the first down. They'll come out and check. I'm sure John Avery was the first one there to make sure. Looks like a first down. And tell you what, Craig, this is the first. As they do get the first down, this is the first significant drive the Chicago offense has put together since the first quarter, when that one ended in the John Avery fumble. So this is an opportunity for them. They obviously got the blood flow a little bit. We talked about momentum. It looks like it's back on the enforcer side.
Man in motion is Preston. He's going to fake and go long. Lester then decides on another receiver and has his tight end Willie Tate for a good gainer. James Willis in the stop, gain of 12. He was trying to spring the man in motion. Preston for the end zone.
We got time. We got time. Nice. Okay.
Sugar wing, 4 belly.
Sugar wing, 4 belly, first down. Ready?
Come on, Sugar. Are they bringing the cheerleader into this play or not?
No, Sugar's not involved in that.
Oh, okay.
Whole different Sugar there, right?
Avery diving straight ahead. Got inside the 15, gain of 7. Let's listen to it again. Steve Endicott, the offensive coordinator.
Trio right, 8 press, first down.
Job.
That's it, baby. Now, they go. Yeah. We got 13 yards. Hey, you guys got a block here. You guys got a block on this one. Trio right, 8 press, first down. Ready? Suck it up. Let's go, baby. Trio. 50.
Avery, can he get the blocks that Lester was asking for? He got up to near the 10 before he was driven back, gain of 2. He's going to bring up a big 3rd and short. You want to talk about a big play in this game, that extra point conversion, going back to the first quarter, because the 3-point doesn't do it.
Well, we've been listening to the offense. Let's check out what James Willis and the guys have to say on the defensive side of the ball.
Now the scoreboard says it all on 3rd and 2.
Well, Big Mo has changed momentum, certainly on the Chicago team right now.
2 down territory. We'll see. Lester's throwing for the end zone. Nearly picked, but he's out of bounds. Butler was out of bounds, and big decision coming for Ron Meyer on 4th and 2 with 3:01 to go. A field goal still leaves him 1 short.
3 wide.
He's going for it, and the reason is Step Williams was able to convert on that touchdown back in the second quarter.
That's right, and you're talking about a situation where they've been having a whole lot of luck moving the ball. This has been their first drive that they've been able to put together since the first. They've got to go for it when they've got a shot.
We're going to have a timeout on the field here. And it's going to be Birmingham calling the timeout.
What? You want to go harder? We need 2 yards. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, 2 yards. Yeah. 2 yards. How about first down?
Actually, we have D7C choice.
I know. Would you like some of the W?
That's what I like. That would be.
Even that's better.
So we gotta be in ready for that, right?
Regular.
Well, guys, if they go for it here and they don't get the points, the beauty of it is they're still in great field position, and they put the Bolts back up against their own. So it seems like the logic here, since you need the point, is to go for it, go for the touchdown.
Yeah, regular.
If you kick the field goal, you're down by 1 still, and you got to play defense.
We're going now.
Coach Ron Meyer, you guys feel like you have something good that can work here for you?
I didn't even hear your question.
You feel like you have something that can work for you right here?
Yeah, we sure do.
Why is he going for it, though?
No field goal, Coach?
Well, you know, we'd have a tough time getting the ball back, I think.
All right, so that's the decision there. You got to play defense because you're still 1 short, even if you kick the field goal. And Crossland hasn't been great kicking either.
And there's the guy that's been shutting everything down for the Bolts, James Willis. It'll be up to him to make the big play.
Could be the play of the game here. 4th and 2. Avery in the backfield. Play action. Lester run it. No, he's going to throw it, and it's caught. It's caught by Ty J. Armstrong. And Lester could have run for the first down. He threw it. It looked like Armstrong, the veteran, may have juggled it, but he makes the big play.
I mean, it wasn't one of the longest or prettiest plays you'll ever see.
That's a good catch.
So when you get the first down, hey.
Armstrong, an older guy, helps the young guys. He's 30 years old. It's 1st and goal at the 8. Now they give it to Avery. Trying to find some room.
Good job of it.
He got loose of the initial hit to pick up a couple of yards.
I was about to say what a great job of that Birmingham defense stringing them out, but they missed the tackle. It was up to Willis and the guys to make that second hit.
With a timeout at the 2-minute warning, the U.S. Army presents victories in life.
Yeah, I'll try to get in there.
And certainly one of the guys who is a great example of that is the quarterback of the Birmingham Thunderbolts, Casey Weldon, a tough, hard-nosed guy, turned 32, a week ago. A dad of 4 came back to play football after being out a few years in the NFL. A Heisman runner-up back in '91 at Florida State. He's not the biggest guy in the world. Doesn't have maybe all the skills, but a great example of a hard-nosed guy who knows how to play this game. Very smart guy, good-looking guy, and a tough-nosed player for the Bolts.
A guy that'll take a beating and still lead his team.
Casey Weldon, an example of the U.S. Army's victory in life. We're at the 2-minute warning, and the enforcers trying to march in, down by 4. Rage and the hitman, Chris Marlowe and Brian Bosworth with the call from Giant Stadium. New York looking for their first win, just like these enforcers who have lost 2. Third straight game, third different time zone on the road, trying to avoid 0-3. Lester gets away. Man is wide open over his head. Oh, no! It's intercepted! It's intercepted by Duane Butler. He's going to go! Oh, my, I can't believe it! Duane Butler is going to go 97 yards. Touchdown, Bolts!
Athlete can run back 97 yards, do a victory lap, do a little dance, and still not be breathing hard. What a play for the Birmingham Thunderbolts. Talk about momentum, just big, slapping it back in her face.
Last week, Duane Butler stripped Anthony DeCosmo on a play that Keith Franklin picked up, ran 12 yards for the touchdown. This week, after Calvin Jackson picked off a pass, the third turnover created by the Bolts, and Tim Lester had his man in Armstrong wide open for the touchdown. Part of Chicago, maybe he stopped at the 2, but he had him.
Part of the problem is he had a player in his face right off the bat, and he was really rushing. Ball gets tipped. Butler picks it up, and that's it. He has got so many guys running with him, nobody was going to get through.
Wow. The Chicago enforcers.
And it was Keith Franklin who got into Tim Lester's face, initially threw his rhythm off. And you feel it for Tim Lester. Here's a guy that really took that team and changed it for that last drive, got the momentum back, but it was not to be.
For the 1 point, he got in.
There it is.
James Bostic for the conversion. Not a big one here with 11 points, but then again, a 7-3 could have tied it up, so it is potentially consequential.
Duane Butler, time running out for your team. They're driving. What a great play, buddy.
Thank you very much. You know, they're driving on us. I get a little scared in that kind of situation, you know what I mean? So, just got to make a play on defense.
Well, and all your teammates are going to be loving you because you single-handedly just earned them all 2,500 bones, buddy.
Hey, that's all right. You know, it's a team effort, though. You know, I wasn't out there by myself. The ball got tipped, and I, you know, was blessed to be in the right position. I got to go and kick off right now.
Tim Lester, you guys came into this game leading the XFL in scoring. How frustrating has today's game been for you guys?
You know, it hurts. We've been able to put up a lot of points. They've been able to slow us down today for the first time. So,
what happened on that last play there?
You know, I just let it get high. I had to step up and get away from one guy and threw over another guy. The ball didn't turn over. Ty J got a piece of it and just popped up to the guy.
All right, Tim.
Bob, the Chicago enforcers have got to be thinking, how are we going to find a way to lose next week? They've had their chances, could have very easily beaten Los Angeles, You could argue they could have beaten Orlando in week 1, and then here today, driving in, seemingly with confidence, and the big play again, they can't pull off.
And we're talking about a team right now going back to their home for the first time, 0-3. It is not going to be a big welcome for them, but hey, people got to give them their props and say that there are some good things that have been happening for this Enforcer team. And who knows? I mean, it's not done yet. It's got to take a look at this kickoff return. Maybe we can get something out of this.
Pay for play, of course, and you play for the big money. The quarterbacks get $5,000, $4,500 for the others, kickers $3,500, but as we just brought up with Lee Rearman, $2,500 extra on a win. $100,000 divided up amongst the team. The Bolts have already said, as we heard earlier, that they're going to give at least $100 apiece to the replacement players to add on to their $1,000, not the replacement, but the practice squad, excuse me.
Let's see if they
victory.
Let's see if the Chicago special teams can force the issue a little bit. Nice kick.
And we need 2 scores.
Love the
2
sound of that
touchdowns,
kick.
in fact. Preston, stutter stepping to the 34. I think Chicago is the best 0-3 team in this league.
Going on a limb on that one, huh?
You know, I say that keenly, but Kevin really played well enough to win some games.
Well, that best 0-3 team in the XFL is changing quarterbacks. Kevin McDougal out of Notre Dame, where I'm matriculated, is going to be taking over this offense.
Half right, D7. Let's go, Louis, on one, right?
Is this, do you think, any comment for the next game for Chicago, or just give them some playing time?
I don't believe so. I think it's playing time. Certainly it's playing time, and it really takes the pressure off him, because even if they don't win, you know, this isn't going to affect McDougal.
McDougal finding Bailey at the 41.
But if McDougal is able to get a drive going, it's going to do wonder for his mindset, should he be able to utilize later on.
Let's go, 44.
You're always a hit away from coming in any game anyhow as a backup quarterback. McDougal in traffic. Incomplete. Welcome to the XFL for Kevin McDougal from Quentin Reese, who hit him pretty good.
Fred Coleman right over the middle should have had that catch. I mean, that ball hit him right in the hands, and unfortunately for some of these guys, that's a bad spot.
Let's go. 668. 668.
3rd and 2.
668. Hey,
draw. And out to Avery. No break for John here.
I thought you was going to come, man.
He had a fumble earlier, and Chicago can really only blame themselves for 2 interceptions and a fumble.
Well, Avery almost got those 20 carries. He's one short right now. 19 carries, 84 yards, and certainly not the numbers he would have hoped. He would have, especially the ones that are on the scoreboard.
McDougal's going to scramble, and he's not going to go down until he's brought down by James Willis at the 45 with 40 seconds remaining.
McDougal's trying to get up to run the no huddle. The defender's not letting him go.
Chicago has 2 timeouts.
68. Fox.
And they're just going to let it wind down. I wonder why not to use the timeout. You know, quick score. I mean, you got a shot with an onside kick.
Nice.
Got to call timeout here.
Let's go.
Clock does stop for the placement, but it still costs you about 6 seconds if you don't call a timeout. And they finally do with 17. 14-3 Birmingham, looking to go to 2-1. We started talking about Casey Weldon taking all the tough hits, and boy, he was a tough customer again today, but a very solid game. He's now with Lee Rearman.
Casey Weldon, you were talking about writing scripts this season, how you guys have been playing by it. Did you write this one today, buddy?
No, I couldn't have written it this good. Actually, I think maybe my daughter, Kendall, she's back in Tampa. I want to say hi to her. She wrote it up, and then we followed it just right. So.
Well, as a matter of fact, a couple times you got hit pretty hard. They had to show the grimace on your wife's face. You might want to talk to her because she can hear us right now.
I just saw her up there. Hey, there she is. It's XFL. I better not say it. Anyway, great job, defense. Great job, fans, cheering the defense on down there. It was nice to actually see a Weldon sign, too. I enjoyed that.
He's winning them over.
A Weldon sign. He's winning them over slowly. Well, Casey today, 16 of 27, 152 yards. no TDs, no INTs, but that was kind of the story for this Thunderbolt team, is that they, hey, between the 20s, did what they wanted to do. They had such a nicely balanced offense. The run game going well with Bostic, the passing attack in all phases, whether it's long and vertical, even the short dump stuff over the middle, mixed it nicely, and they moved. It was just those red zone that just kind of threw them off a little bit.
McDougal led the Irish to an 11-1 record in '93, and Brad Palazzo certainly off the hook.
Oh, yeah, you think?
Yeah. Although you can't blame him for the first one, obviously the block, but missed the other two. McDougal with all kinds of time. Wide open over the middle. It's a costly catch. Billy Kane on the catch. Last timeout used by the enforcers. And a reminder coming up next on UPN.
More football, baby.
You got it. Big game there.
UPN, the XFL on UPN, the Orlando Rage at the New York Hitmen, and we got a chance to taste a little bit of that New York hospitality last week, and it's chilly.
I hope it's even chillier for Chris and Brian and the players doing that, especially the announcers, though.
Right.
Exactly. In the elements.
Well, the Rage got it all going. They're undefeated so far. The Hitmen really suffering, but we'll find out tonight their quarterback situation. Coming back here to Birmingham, you see a Bolt team just happy that, you know, first off, they're thinking 2,500 bones a piece right now.
Right. That's the grin.
And I know we talk about the money, which is a great extra, but I mean, you've talked about these guys. You've talked to these guys too. They love playing football.
No extra money for the enforcers. It helps to have the rent money, but almost all of them say that. But hey, yeah, you're right, Bob. It's great to get the extra loot.
Shot in there to the outside.
And if you win, you can have a funny look too. You can do anything when you're a victor.
I can honestly say I've never done that with my helmet.
Scott Thompson, no big H. But really, the feeling of victory, money aside.
Right.
And for these guys, and that's what they're back here for, that feeling of a camaraderie of a team and of winning. They work so hard all week long. We don't see that. They come out here on Sunday trying to prove it.
Every time we've talked to players on Fridays and Saturdays before the game, just listen to their stories and their ability to get back and play pro ball. It's just heartwarming, man.
McDougal going end zone. It's almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Cedric Curry had a chance at it. And it'll be the last play of the game coming up. And again, this must be a thing with the DBs if they drop one that they should have.
Up 10, that was. Well, we saw it before when Chris Schelling missed an interception. He dropped and gave him 10. Now Cedric Curry dropping and giving him another 10.
Impressive outing, nonetheless, despite the miscues for Chicago by Jerry Donato's defense, holding a team, the highest scoring team in the league, averaging over 30 a game to just 3 this afternoon. Last throw for McDougal. Over the middle, it drops incomplete, appropriately enough, because that's how it went for the enforcers. Moved it a little bit, but could not cash it in. And the Birmingham Bolts go to 2-1. A big win for them. They're now a half a game back of Orlando, and Chicago falls to 0-3 in a 10-game season. They are in trouble heading back home.
This is the XFL!
Last moment.
He was just about busted that one through, tripped up at the last minute.
I think it might have been Keith Franklin who just got a piece. Avery just darted through there. He's not a big guy at 5'9", 190 pounds. What do I got?
Well, you know, he's
close to the first down.
That's right. They're going to go and measure now, but he's one of those guys, as he drags it out sideways like that, as soon as he gets those shoulders, turns, and he accelerates, man, he's going to hit the hole.
It's short.
You can see there, he's just a little short of the first down.
Yeah. Hey, you guys gotta be strong up front.
John Avery, a real funny guy too, very light-hearted. It keeps everybody very loose except when he's in the huddle. You'll get a sense of that throughout the game here today.
Turn around and keep going. But I think they're all going to cave on you.
All right. I hope. First-round pick of the Dolphins a couple of years ago. And he was the guy the enforcers really wanted. First-round pick. He's so tiny, it's hard to find him in the huddle.
We're trying to find
the big line. There he is.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's all about getting the first guy, keeping the sticks moving. Man, I tell you, as a defense, I've lined up many a time trying to make this stop.
Oh, look at that.
Flea flicker.
Little flea flicker. Lester has a receiver wide open. Bailey
wide open.
At the 20. A good pickup on, again, the little chicanery from head coach Ron Meyer.
I have been on that defense when you got that inch to go, and all you can think about getting penetration, getting up in that lineman's face, making the hit on that running back when he comes through, because you know he's coming through.
Okay, good.
Right? Every single time, except, of course, when they run a flea flicker.
Ready?
The other thing that Stat pointed out is he's receiving a lot of yards, 177 yards. He's among the, not only the top rusher along with Salam, but the leading receiver in the league. He's 5th overall. A couple of yards again for Avery. Met up with Charles Preston, who had some comments before the game saying that Avery's not running on us today. We'll see.
Well, you know, I used to say that too, but didn't always work out that way.
That's right.
You know, look about Avery, though. He has the ability to accelerate. Good vision inside. Yeah, you'll see him dance a little bit. A lot of times, if you don't have the ability to accelerate, when you're dancing in there, you're going to get your hat handed to you. But if you can accelerate like he can, you'll find that spot.
Lester rolling, little soft one thrown out for Willie Tate, the tight end, and he gets a couple of yards.
Yeah.
Let's get down to Kip Lewis on the sideline. Kip, take it away.
Coach Ron Meyer, quick kick, flea flicker. You got anything else up your sleeve?
Well, we're going to have everything when you're playing the Bolts. Yeah, they're a good football team. So we just started the game. All right.
Big Ron was going to tip his head. Yeah, maybe we'll try the fake reverse in the next play.
Yeah, Ron has run them all in his lifetime, believe me.
Chicago, the top scoring team in the league, averaging over 30 points a game. Oh, nearly caught. Good attempt by Aaron Bailey. Diving was off his hand, incomplete.
Duane Butler coming in to make that last play. I don't know if Bailey would have caught the ball anyway, but man, Duane Butler would have taken his head off had he made the catch. He came in from his corner position deep and just about decapitated the man.
Andy Crossland will attempt the field goal. Should be about a 33-yarder, maybe 34-yarder for Crossland, who has been struggling a little bit, according to the head coach out of the University of Miami. Left-footed punter and place kicker.
Is that what Ron Meyer said? Struggling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he may have used some other choice words. And this one is perfect from 33, so the Enforcers are on the board first here at Legion Field in Birmingham. The XFL on TNN is brought to you by Lugs, the boots and shoes with an attitude, since you never know what you might run into. Lugs, boots and shoes. Page said his mom, Ann Lewis, in a single-parent home was the inspiration. Showed him all about perseverance, about making sacrifices for both James and his sister.
Well, he's the leading tackler for that Bolt defense right now, and you see in that play that his instincts really help him out.
19, quick kick for Chicago. Jackson goes back to field and he'll grab it around the 20. Avery's going to try and make the tackle, and he does. John Avery at the 20. So Ron Meyer pulling one out of his sleeve. Not a bad idea we saw last night in the Las Vegas game. The Outlaws was not a quick kick, but they were able to regain possession of the ball after it went 25 yards.
Illegal man downfield, kicking team number 83. 5 yards will be added to the end of the run, first down.
What happens is in the quick kick, essentially you're trying to kick the ball without having the Birmingham team have a player there basically to field the ball. Once the ball goes 25 yards, as we said, it becomes a free ball. But the one thing you run into is a guy not being able to stay on the line of scrimmage. Nice hit.
Aaron Bailey not on the same page, obviously, because when the ball is punted, you do have to wait for the ball to be hit. The refs call it the sound of the ball before you can take off. Weldon going downtown, first play for Williams, Oh! His left hand, incomplete. He had to step on Corey Ivy defending.
Hey, I had that. I had that. Not today. I had that. Not today. I'm telling you, not today. You hear me?
Sounds like two kids right on the playground. I had it. No, you didn't. Not today.
Just saying, one of these games will start off this way with a little friendly jawing back and forth, but go back, catch these two a little bit later, maybe the third quarter, going into the fourth.
Corey Ivy's got a couple of picks already for Chicago. Birmingham, one of the best passing teams in the league. That one nearly picked off by Jason Bray. Incomplete.
We got to run this ball, man. Huh? Return alert.
Courtesy of Bush. Look at some of the XFL rules here, Bob. Pass reception.
That's right. The receiver needs only 1 foot, baby, in bounds while he has possession of the ball for it to be completion. You'll see a lot of guys working hard, a lot more good, tough catches on the sidelines.
I like that rule a lot, too.
Sure do.
Weldon here. A lot of time. He's going to scramble, and he doesn't usually slide. And he dives to the 35-yard line. Aaron Humphrey made the stop. He's very close to first down yardage.
Well, in the first 2 weeks of these of the XFL teams that have played Birmingham, the opponents have scored first. This drive very important for the Bolts, trying to kind of break a little bit of a bad series for them. Nice keeper there. And that's one of the things we love about Casey Weldon. This guy is not going to give it up. He is going to take all the yardage he can get. No sliding for him, unless of course, end of the game, he starts taking a beating. But you're going to see him fighting head first for as much as he can get.
Palazzo to punt. You wonder how smart that is sometimes, though. High punt. Got to get to the 41 to go to the 25. It's right around that mark as Preston receives the ball and carries it near midfield. So that was a high one, but in a dangerous spot. And Chicago able to hang on. They'll have good field position when we come back to Legion Field in Birmingham.
The strong safety guy that came
with the running back, it's all about reps. It's all about reps. I didn't get the opportunities that I felt I needed. They felt like a good package for me would be 15 to 20 touches a game, which averaged out to maybe 3 or 4 the first couple of games. But, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. I can only control what I do when I'm out there on the field. All I've ever asked for was the ball. And now I'm getting it, and I'm showing people that if you let me touch the ball enough, I'll figure out something.
Bob John can have no complaints here, getting the ball 46% of the touches so far for the Enforcers.
But he's definitely got one of his guys that he likes to watch and kind of emulates Barry Sanders. He likes to get those kind of touches, but so far today, the Birmingham defense really keying in on him.
Avery going to get a touch here. Squeaking through. Oh, look out! He was just tripped up by Warner Brothers' new motion picture, 3,000 Miles to Graceland, in theaters everywhere, Friday, February 23rd. By the United States Army, an army of one. And by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking, Bush Light. Well, the crowd loving it here at Legion Field. Not the score, but the atmosphere and environment coming out in a nice Sunday afternoon here in Birmingham, about 48 degrees. Bob got his luggage somehow after a couple of days. Got able to get a jacket on. Did you lose it on an airplane? What happened?
Nah, they kept my whole bag, you know. Kind of going through it, see if there's anything cool to wear.
Alexander near the 15. Got up to the 25-yard line, and that's where Birmingham will start. Well, Lee Rehrman occasionally gets under the skin of head coach Jerry Donato. Let's see what Lee's got in store right now. Lee, take it away.
Coach, 3 games in a row, you guys find yourself down early. What is up? Are you guys getting up late or something?
Yeah, we're going to have a good series right here.
There you go. I didn't expect much of an answer here. You know, this has been the way this Birmingham team has started, though. Every game so far, the opponent has scored first. And I think Jerry DiNardo was well aware of that and didn't need to be reminded by Lee. Lee loves working with Jerry, doesn't he?
I don't think they'll be exchanging greeting cards this year. There is an injured player on the field.
If it's, yeah, I tell you what, Number 50, that's James Willis. This is a huge, depending on the severity of the injury, this is huge for the Birmingham Bolts. James Willis, the heart and soul of that Bolt defense, and the man who has really been really corralling John Avery so far today, and as he's done all season so far. But you know, when you play ball and you get out there, and again, we're talking a 38-man roster. You got to get out there. If you're athletic, you play special teams. You get down there. He's got the speed. He's got the ability. And sometimes you just don't know. Looks like he just kind of took a shot. A little friendly fire there. Maybe just got dinged a little bit, walking it off.
Well, how many times do you seem to see these injuries more often on the special teams where the bodies are coming from all angles at a heavy speed?
I'll tell you what, just watching the way these guys are hitting, though, too. And special teams is a place where guys really want to make an impression, so you see them throwing their bodies around a little bit more, a little harder than normal.
Look. Flag, 28. Hit.
Bostic. Got up to the 29. Aaron Humphrey. On the stop again for it.
No. Okay. Nothing in there. Go out? Nah. No, he was up. Everything hit the ground? Everything just hit. That's all. Huh? I'm all right. You remember hitting the ground, everything that happened? Oh, yeah. Let's go over here.
It sounds like that's what it was. Just got his belt rung. But they do have to check. You see a lot of times checking the neck, making sure there's no neck injuries. But
Bostic again. A 100-yard game last week.
Well, we talk about Casey Weldon and what this guy does as quarterback for the Bolt team. James Bostic has just been tearing it up for these guys. Although Weldon kind of runs this operation, Bostic is a guy that really gives him a nice balance, gives him some options, and takes some of the pressure off him, so people just don't line up and come after Casey.
He showed us his tattoo. Never enough respect on his left arm. He's trying to earn it today. Diving up is Bostic for the first down.
Unless you're an anchor in the middle of that defense, you're out. You going to be ready here in a sec?
I'll be back. I'll be ready to go. Got a little ding, ready to go.
So that's good news for the Birmingham Bolts. Mr. Willis a little friendlier with Lee Rearman, Bob.
I don't think James really knows who Lee is yet. He's still trying to figure out who his own teammates are. You know, you get things like that, you do things like that. You feel disoriented, so you start like naming your own teammates. So, you know, my head's okay. I can at least know who my teammates are.
Oh, well then, rolling.
After 2 heartbreaking losses, John Avery and the Enforcers must win.
We can't put a complete game together yet. And it's getting old, you know what I'm saying? It makes me sick in my stomach.
Avery hasn't been stopped tonight. John Avery is so fast. XFL Player of the Week. It's all John Avery.
A lot of people pat me on my back, tell me how good I did. I don't want to hear that. I don't like losing to nobody and nothing. I don't care if it's checkers.
Can this team bounce back?
We ain't got no choice.
Chicago attempts to bounce back against Casey Weldon, the quarterback who refuses to let go of his dream of becoming a star.
He is one of the toughest quarterbacks I've ever seen play football. He took so many big hits that would have put normal people down, but I'll tell you, that guy said, nope, I'm all right. I'm going back in.
Here we go.
Weldon going downtown. We've got a receiver. Touchdown.
Weldon returns to his hometown fans in Birmingham to try and capture Lightning one more time.
XFL and Birmingham Bolts fans are hoping their team can charge on to victory again here in the Deep South today. From historic Legion Field, it's the XFL on TNN, the Chicago Enforcers, and the homestanding Birmingham Bolts.
Please welcome your Birmingham Thunderbolts.
Well, you know how we started off here in the XFL. Forget that coin toss. It is time for the scramble for the ball. And let's go down the official for all the introductions, Steve Hammond.
All right, gentlemen, step up here. These are your instructions. You each are going to line up on your respective sidelines, and you're going to sprint to the football located on the 50-yard line. Whoever secures possession of that football will have the choice of options to start the game for your team. If there's a false start, we will restart. If there's a second false start, whoever created that false start will automatically be declared the loser of the scramble. Any questions? Put your helmets on.
What you saying? What you counting? Just on the whistle?
On the whistle.
The tail of the tape edge goes to Steve Conley, 6'5", 235, but he's fast too. He runs a 4.5 40. Well, fast, but perhaps not coordinated. Bob Golick, Greg Benavides. Welcome again to the XFL on TNN. Bob's a tough guy, so he does not have the gloves on today, but you want to talk about tough on the field so far. John Avery for Chicago. He might be, Bob, the most exciting player in the XFL.
Most exciting and the most versatile. This guy has done everything in the run game and in the passing game. He's starting to warm up a little bit too, but you can tell from his emotion, he really wants to make this team work.
When you talk about tough in this league, you might start with Casey Weldon, the quarterback for Birmingham, who's been terrific in the pocket so far for the Bolts.
You know, there's a hometown guy in Jay Barker sitting waiting his turn, but as long as Casey Weldon takes the hits, keeps getting up, and keeps making the big plays like he has, he is going to hold on to that starting spot for the Birmingham team, and I'll tell you what, he is one heck of a leader.
Birmingham won the scramble. They have elected to kick off. Chicago will get their choice to start the second half. If we go to overtime, then of course the Bolts will get that opportunity once again to decide.
You know, we're seeing, one of the things we're seeing is when teams are winning the scramble for the ball, they're actually starting to kick off instead of receive.
Fine football coach Ron Meyer turned 60 last night. He's been a winner everywhere he's been in college and professional football. Jerry Donato, very familiar to fans in the Southeast after coaching at LSU and Vanderbilt, head man of the Bolts, 48 years age. He is from Brooklyn, New York. Brad Palazzo will kick off for the Bolts. Royal Preston is the single man back deep at the goal line, and here we go. Preston will move up to the 10 and grab it for Chicago. Down the sidelines, he's bumped out of bounds at the 30-yard line by Duane Butler, and after the 19-yard return, the enforcers take over near the 30-yard line.
Well, it's going to be a big game here for Chicago, looking for a chance to get themselves a win to take back into Chicago. We've made this comment before. They have been out of their hometown for about 50 days now, have not seen Chicago. Some of these guys actually have homes and apartments there that they've never been to.
Some guys have never even been to their home city. Here's John Avery right off the bat for a couple of yards. Speaking of home cities, Bob, this area here in Alabama was ravaged on Friday with a torrential storm. A tornado came through, plowing trees down. We were here at Legion Field. Cars were hit by trees, 3-4 feet in diameter, knocked down. The scoreboard, our Tron board, $2 million board, was knocked down. They've been able to fix it. Here you see the live shot. Yeah, and it sounded like a big train coming down. There was speaker damage. There's still 100,000 people are powerless in this area, even as far as today. Lester on the play action, and he stopped for no gain.
Well, so far so good. If you're a Bolts fan, this defense is lining up and getting after it, stopping Avery on the first play, going in, making a play. Number 95, Quentin Reese, coming in, getting a hit on Timmy Lester. You know, this is one of the things, too, that we're seeing. I mentioned this right after the scramble for the ball. You're seeing the team that wins starting to actually take kick the ball off so they can get field position.
You see Christopher Perez, left tackle. I was talking with him before the game. Very bad ankle injury. He did not feel he was going to start. They must have talked him into it. And he's blocking Preston there, keeping him away as Lester finds a receiver in Roel Preston. So they get the first down. It was Charles Preston who was pressuring the quarterback, and the left tackle Perez had a block for his quarterback in that play.
That's right, and you talked about Christopher Perez. I mean, he wasn't supposed to play. Thank goodness he's in there. I mean, we're talking about, because of this limited roster, 45 guys total, 38 only active, you don't really have a lot of backups in your offensive line. We had a guy, possibly he'll step in, depending on things go, who haven't even played offensive line before.
Christopher told me before the game he's played 150 straight games in about 3 different leagues. Batted down at the line by Patrick Scott. It's incomplete.
Aaron Bailey was wide open, 2 out in the flat. Nice little pattern coming back for the ball. Good play at the line of scrimmage to cut that one short. All right. Well, you know, this Chicago team right now, they got to get something started. They got to get something emotional right now. We told you before, they haven't won a game yet. They got to find some way to start believing a little bit. Emotionally, they've got to get a first drive success would be exactly what the doctor ordered for these guys.
Here's Avery, dangerous in the open field. Not this time. James Willis. Let's go. Makes the stop.
These guys, man. Hey, nothing better than playing on defense than having things going. It's one thing to make the hit at the line of scrimmage, but watch Willis here. He knows this play is coming. Talking about a guy who knows how to read a play, sniff it out.
James, 28 years of